All right, it's not Wednesday, Sunday, 26 November 2023. Get ready because we're getting ready to set up for the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Pre-show, getting ready. Top of the hour will be the regular show. Getting everything set up. Censorship Sucks will be here any minute. I just got a call from him. Let's see. Trying to join the call. As you can see.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the places I've been in, it's mostly there's just like one or two in town.
Hello.
And
we're streaming live and we're out on all the platforms right now other than the radio. How you doing tonight there?
We'll stop talking about interesting things.
Yeah. If you so desire.
Good. How's everyone?
Let's put it this way. I see more dispensaries than I do CVS and Walgreens.
Oh, wow.
And there used to be like a Walgreens or a CVS on every single street corner. Because basically, our society is just drugged up on pharmaceuticals, man, like you would not believe.
And is it recreational or is it only medical there?
You mean with the cannabis? It's medicinal only. Colorado is like
only medicinal.
Yeah. Colorado is like, I guess, whatever you want for fun or for medicine, but here in Oklahoma, it's medicinal.
Okay.
I don't know what the term is they call it. There's a term they call
medicinal?
No, where it's just for whatever reason you want it to be. There's a term for it, but I can't remember.
Glaucoma.
Do what? Glaucoma. I know that I remember the Chong. I think it's Chong, not Cheech, but Chong. When he got cancer, he treated it partially with cannabis as well as other holistic methods, and he's cancer-free to this day.
Oh, yeah, Dolly. I feel like I have a ton of news tonight. We haven't been on in forever.
Speaking of cancer, I remember that Amish girl. I can't remember her age. She might have been like 16 or something, but the Amish people didn't want her to take chemotherapy, and so they're going to take the child away from the family, but they hid the child, and she was treated with holistic methods, and she became cancer-free. And it's scary to me that the state could take your child away based on how you want to treat your child for cancer. It's not like they didn't want to do anything, right? And I can see that where they just, and she's totally cancer-free, man. This child that the state was going to take away and make her take chemo, make her get radiation, make them cut it out, whatever. And that to me is just medical tyranny.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to have health insurance, you should be able to be treated have the options of all kinds of different methods, because the conventional way is not working. It works if you need surgery. It works if, you need to be cut open. It needs if you have a broken bone, but it may not work if you have cancer. It may not work, for something else, some other kind of disease.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's the day and age we live in. Now we're seeing people getting harassed again for speech like you'd never believe. Tommy Robinson being tear gassed and simply for doing nothing, just joining the protest, the pro Israel protest that everybody else was fine to do, but they had to harass him because, he's kind of a leader and they fear him for whatever reason. And I don't know what the other story was, but it's like, man, they're tightening up on all kinds of things, man. I mean, tyranny is coming. I can guarantee you the tyranny is coming. Like never before.
Yep.
Before we get our victory, they're going to crack down like never before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's coming. So I'm just loading all these articles.
I talk a pretty big talk, and I admit that sometimes, but it's real confidence. But I know that there's going to come a moment where I'm going to feel, that heavy oppression that everybody else feels. Like I don't really feel it that much because, I have faith in God and that's my peace. But man, when things get real bad, it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to feel it, man. Like what's coming. I don't think everybody's ready for it, man. I don't. I'm not even sure that I'm ready for it because I know it's going to intensify like never before. And all these people that have been living like in oblivion, I feel so sorry for them because they haven't prepared their mind or themselves for anything that's coming. For the chaos, the riots, the insanity, the big event. There's definitely going to be some kind of a big event that happens. I'm talking about a bad event and a good event probably too. There'll probably be both. But, the deep state's not done.
No, they are not.
I keep hearing this kind of thing among people, and I tend to agree with it. Everybody has this feeling, and I think Tucker said it, Tucker Carlson, and so many others in the spotlight, but just I talk to people on a grassroots level, and they seem to agree as well. Something big is coming. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's true. And I've been warning people about that for a long time. And, over Thanksgiving dinner, I had to do my warning of everybody, and they didn't want to let me talk at all. They did not want to hear it, but I said it anyway.
You get them, brother.
Hello, fellas.
Hey, yo.
How are you? It seems like these weeks are going faster and faster.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hope they
Call
do.
getting old.
I think you might be right. Hello to all you listeners, loyal listeners out there. Where's Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mark's here.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Sir, wow.
I'm trying to get a raise. Oh, I had Christmas explosion in my front room today.
Well, how so? What happened?
Oh, I thought I was going to be decorating the Christmas tree, but it turned out to be like this huge ordeal, and I had to wait for my kid to get home from work, both of them. And it got too late, so we postponed Christmas decorating until tomorrow, but in the meantime, it's all upstairs and everywhere. It's a mess.
Gotcha. So Christmas exploded in your living room, basically.
Yeah, everywhere. It took, like, the lights, of course, did, like, all the way at the top of the tree. Part of the lights were out. It was, my husband's like, this is why I hate Christmas. But when I was separating out the branches, because we don't have a real tree, we have a beautiful artificial tree. And but I was stretching out the branches and straightening them out, and then the lights came on, so I fixed the lights. Yay!
Good for you. Girl power.
He was pretty happy because he did not want to have to go looking to see what the problem was. He started out like having to unplug because there's different layers to it, like 4 different layers. So, and we had things just plugged all different ways, not the right way. So he had to go back and reconnect stuff, and it still wasn't working. It was really fun.
Yep.
I even made crock pot hot cocoa that I gotta make again tomorrow.
Crock
Pot hot cocoa, huh?
Yeah.
It's a slow
Cook it in a
brew
crock
or
pot.
something.
Yeah, you put it in the slow cooker with Hershey's cocoa and some sugar, and I put whipping cream and milk, chocolate milk.
Real chocolatey taste.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my daughter had some. She said it was delicious, but we'll have to wait and see. I didn't have any.
I've been wanting to get some hot chocolate, but every time I go, it's Nestle, and you look at the ingredients, and it's high fructose corn syrup, and just crap, nothing natural. And it's like,
Yeah,
I ain't buying the hot cocoa unless I make it myself, or it's 100% natural.
Because you're right. I mean, everything is bioengineered these days. It's disgusting what they get away with putting on the shelves, and people who are uninformed or don't want to be informed just keep on shoving it in and getting sicker.
Oh man, yeah. I'm encountering all kinds of just weird things with people, man. I mean, it's just like every day I get out, there's just people are just in misery and pain and dying, and most of them have got the shot. You know, I even made a post today about because I was a big leader for the march against Monsanto back in the day when we had those marches. You know,
All right.
remember that? Yeah. And I like to eat Mexican food, but I won't eat the chips because 90% they're probably GMO. So I bring my own chips, and I've been doing that. You know, and me and a friend every Sunday after church, we go to this Mexican restaurant just by my house, and we get the fajitas dinner and chips and salsa, and I get the extra hot sauce. Oh, it's so good. But I bring my own chips, and now I got him eating those chips and thinking twice about eating GMO. So
You should live longer.
well, that's the plan.
Yeah, you should.
But I
Hopefully
talked to a
it
guy today who got the jab, and he just got recovering from a stroke. Took him 6 months before he could walk and be mobile again, and he was all jabbed up, 100% jabbed up.
I have no doubt. That is definitely dangerous stuff. And
Yeah.
you look back on it now, and there's just so many things. They just flat out lied to us. They knew that hydroxychloroquine, especially Fauci,
Oh yeah.
knew that it would take care of the situation. And they still called it a pandemic, even though that there was, a cure.
Yeah.
Which we talked about that so many times so long ago, but it's just, I'm glad that it's finally coming to fruition. It's just so frustrating that it takes so long, and for people to have to hear it from the television in order to believe what we've been saying
Yeah.
all along. My
And I think
cousin-
that's the very reason why they can't accept what we tell them, is because they cannot believe that there are people in this world that are that utterly diabolically evil. Because that's an evil
The whole media.
that makes Jeffrey
Yeah.
Dahmer look like a saint. When you're talking about killing people with the virus and the death jab like they've done, locking people down, closing down businesses, damaging children and our youth to the point, even as the New York Times finally admitted, that they may never recover from. This is an evil to the likes of like a Hitler, a Stalin, or a Mao. And Fauci is in that same category as is Bill Gates, in my humble opinion.
Sure.
And honestly, man, I'm pissed off because I'm tired of this crap, man. I want some kind of just, sanity restored. I mean, I know this world will never be perfect. I get that completely. But this is insane. This is right? To have to deal with this every single day. And now they're new thing that's happening in China, and they're telling the people in China to go back to the mask. I mean, hey, they're starting all over again just in time for the elections.
Absolutely.
Right on schedule. It's almost like you could predict this, like, to the day almost, you know? Years ahead of time.
And then what's really frustrating is you look at, it's the same players, because Anthony Fauci has a history and patterns. And he goes all the way back to the 1980s when HIV and AIDS, which they called an epidemic also, and he, again, blocked treatment that could have stopped everything right then and there just so that he could get that AZT into people, including babies, just like he did right now with COVID. It's exactly the same thing, just a different name. And here we still have, from 1980, the same guy pulling the same crap and getting away with it because the same people are still protecting them. But now things are starting to come out, and the difference between now and the 80s is the internet. So hopefully we'll have a different outcome.
Yep. And that's why they've got to control the internet. And that's why that could be one of the things that's coming is some kind of deal where they don't let you log on without, permission. That's what they talked about. They want to basically, and I wrote a piece, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago called Full Spectrum Dominance and what it will take for the New World Order to have full spectrum dominance. One of them was get their puppet president in, and that was when Trump was the president. So I said, that's not going to happen now. But another one was to take full control. The top 3 things, I think the third thing I wrote was taking control of the internet. Because once they do that, it's then they can control the narrative completely. Because once they get you to where they control the internet and you got to log in, then they can, just like they can do with anything else, a social credit score, they can just say, well, you can't go to this site. We're not going to let you go to that site. That's misinformation.
Yep, game over.
Or they just do like Rockefeller used to do. They charge one price for somebody to do a train ride from one destination to another, and a higher price to somebody else. They do the same thing with the internet. They give certain people faster speeds on their page. Wars.com would be slow. You would not be able to watch their videos. They just slow it all down. I mean, this is their plan. They basically want to control the narrative. And to do that, they have to control the internet. Now, they've done that to some degree by controlling Facebook, by controlling YouTube. But now that X is being controlled by Elon Musk, he's a little bit better. He's allowing some free speech, so he's better. And that's actually causing the deep state a lot of trouble. And they're probably going to come after Elon very soon, if not already. I think they are in some ways, threatening him and trying to sue him and everything else. But he's got a lot of money. He's not like anybody else. Most people, if you get sued by the deep state, you can't. What can you do? They have endless money. But Elon Musk has his own money.
And his fact-checking thing on Twitter is phenomenal, man. It's like putting some big zingers out, like straight up, like to anybody. They will they'll go after Biden himself, no problem, and say this is a lie.
Yeah,
I love that.
Isn't it generated by the community to give context?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is cool. I'm not on
And it's
X.
No.
You mean Snopes isn't real?
Snopes.
What? Shocking. Well, it's the same thing with Facebook. They actually went to court and admitted that their fact checkers were opinions, not facts.
Yeah. But our opinions are the facts. Apparently, that's what they think. Sort of like we own the science. So whatever we say the science is, it is. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. We own the science. We own everything, and you will just obey. We own reality. We own reality. So what we tell you reality is, if we tell you that a man can get pregnant and a man can become a woman, then you will believe it because we said so. And you will join the collective hive mind whether you like it or not.
I think that's why I haven't got into that yet, because I'm very much of a don't tell me what to do kind of
yeah.
person.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Not you.
Not you, yo.
What?
Not you.
Never. You're so
Stubborn.
submissive and just do as you're told.
Yeah. Not you. Who would
Yeah,
have
it
ever
drives
thought,
my husband
you know?
crazy.
Oh, believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's earned his husband title.
I've gotten to the point where I just kind of say what I want to say, and I know that that's shocking to a lot of people these days because everybody's so easily offended, right? And so it's like most people are walking around with filters on everything, right? They're afraid to say anything. They just, they're
Absolutely.
comfortable talking about the latest sports game or something, but that's about it.
Well, let's
Yeah,
give some
nothing
shout outs here
controversial.
before we get started on the radio side, since we got the whole crew here, basically. So, big shout out to Icehole over on Kick, as well as Mr. Beefy, Angelic Angel, and let's see who else we have over there. Probably my Nickel is in there too. She just hasn't said anything yet, but she's really
Good
good
names
about
there.
coming
I like
in.
that.
Yeah, there we go. And those are the first people to show up. Thank you
All right.
for
Well,
supporting us
good morning, good
tonight.
afternoon,
Yeah.
and good evening to you all.
And just to let you know, we are on a new platform tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, another one.
Wow.
Yeah, Live Space. A friend of mine who's a gamer said, you need to come over here. If you get in there, you'll be like the first one of what you do over here. And probably the only one.
Okay.
And I'm like, will you help me set it up? 20 minutes later, I was set up and streaming. So, yeah, it's
Cool.
a really easy site. It's a really good site so far. It's nice. It's so simple to set up. So if anybody's looking for easy setup and looking to for starting out, that's where I would go first. Just recommendation. There's not a lot of bells and whistles with it yet, so it's a good place to learn.
There you go.
Yeah.
Live Space
and the person that
and
recommended it to
beyond.
me is Nikki Tude from Kick in live streaming and Twitch. She does it all. Almost like me, but not quite. But she's a gamer.
Well, thank you everyone for being here with us tonight.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I hope y'all enjoy the show tonight.
That's right. Uh-huh.
That's the way.
I like it.
That's the way. That's the way we say it down here in Oklahoma. That's the way. I like it.
You sure about that? Well, I had an encore picked out for tonight, just in case. But I just killed that one, and we're ready to go. And I'll be releasing the raccoon and holding back those darn old hound dogs. You won't hear them because hey, I'm in a soundproof room, all right.
Yeah.
I got kids that's going to release them tonight, so I don't know how well that's going to work out. So I put the ticker on the kids too to chase them around. So we're getting it's going to be fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, flashlights and hound dogs and raccoons. Yeah, put them up in the tree.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, man.
That's what you think.
Crying all the time. Did I tell you I got an Uncle Sam patriotic nutcracker?
World headquarters.
Oh, really?
He's got the American flag. He's holding the big Uncle Sam patriotic top hat. He's got
All right. They're
Censorship
released.
Sucks
There goes the raccoon.
easy top beard.
Up over the fence. Damn, he's getting fat. Anyways, over the garbage cans next door. Yep. Oh,
One of these days, I'll figure out what you're talking
he's
about.
He's hiding with the cats. Oh, he's eating some cat food. I hope the dogs don't get him this time. Anyways, that's how we power. That's how we power Dragus Productions on broadcast, live broadcast nights with Raccoon and Hound Dogs. Get him, kids! Get him!
Hey, Mark.
What?
Wait, first of all, I just sent out an announcement for the show, tagged you all.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say to you, Mark? Jeez Louise. Never mind. I'll tell you when I think of it.
Well, there's always breaks.
Oh my gosh.
And we haven't
I
started
hate when
out yet.
It happens.
It's so good to hear you. Yeah, I was kind of worried that we wouldn't have... It would just be like me and Censorship tonight, like on Wednesday. He was with me for about a little over an hour. Yeah, it sounded like, man, he didn't have any sleep at all, man. He was like,
I was so tired.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, dang, so good that we didn't have a live show that night.
Well, I knew we didn't, so I wasn't like, I could have drank some coffee or whatever, and gotten all pumped up, but
sure.
I knew we weren't going to be on the
I
air,
listened a little bit to your old show that you guys had. You had a ton of people listening. I was like, what's going on, man?
Now here's something that I haven't been... I just started this week. I've been streaming all our old shows and some old-time radio on Rumble and Kick daily. So,
cool.
and Twitch, too.
When you
So
say
if you're
old-time
on
radio,
any
what
of
does that
those, you
mean?
may catch some of your old shows. Yeah. I actually, yesterday I listened to the interview with Dr. Cassoni.
Oh, okay, cool. That was good.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could get him back again.
It'd be interesting to go look at like events that occurred, like major events, and then play the show that happened the day or two after that event. You know what I mean?
Or 6 months before.
Yeah.
I remember what I was going to say. Mark, I listened to last Sunday's show, and it was a Rumble link, and I could hear in between, like it was the live stream like we're doing right now, instead of the radio show. Is it possible? Because last week we had a little technical issues.
Actually, from now on, I'm not putting the breaks in the
replay.
Yeah, in the replays. The only thing I'm going to be putting in there from now on will be the intro and the outros.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if the radio people heard us in between, breaks.
It's just getting too damn time consuming, to take and do that.
Okay. All right. Phew.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in between breaks.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, we were talking about the hemorrhoid. Not the hemorrhoids. The rectal gonorrhea.
Oh, yeah. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. Yeah, it'll really burn your ass.
Wasn't sure how the radio would handle that.
Oh, that's been played over the air before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's... we're covering news.
All right, 30 seconds. Yeah, it's a public service announcement anyways. For the people against CHTGR or whatever. Yeah, RTG. Yeah, CHRTG.
Doing a story about Hunter Biden or something?
Anyways, get ready, because here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show Sunday night edition, where we hang out, get into all the news and even check in possibly maybe with Willie from Willie's Worm Farm and Cricket Emporium in the second hour. So do stay tuned for that. We are going to be on live tonight for 2 hours. We're on every Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for 2 hours, and every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for another 2 hours. Same station, same place, different time. So come and check us out then as well. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you out there for listening, and we appreciate all of you. We hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And with that, I will introduce my guest here. Yotivation, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. I was actually kind of quiet because we already had one a little earlier, a couple weeks earlier. So it was kind of nice, actually. It was laid back, and I really liked it.
Excellent. And Bullhorn Barry, what about you?
I was disturbing the peace as usual and talking about things that nobody wanted me to talk about.
Yeah. I saw a meme of a pumpkin pie that someone took the crust and spelled out letters, and it said, "Not vaccinated, let's talk politics." Right on the pie, you know.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, exactly, that's a way to get the good old conversation going. I had a great time myself, hung out with some friends, and had a wonderful meal, really good meal. Boy, I was impressed. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, and it was like 10 times better than I thought it'd be, which is always great. So, getting into the news, let's talk about... Gosh, kind of almost every story sort of is related tonight because, I don't know, there's a theme of some people involved that are rumbling some... Okay, let's go over to Ireland. Okay. There was a stabbing in a park in the middle of the afternoon. A immigrant from 20 years, been living there. I think he was homeless. Again, it's really hard to pick up all the details specifically because it's so sensitive over there. No one wants to cover it. Algerian immigrant stabbed like 3-4 kids, a mother, and did it all in broad daylight in the middle of a park. A bunch of people, kind of tackled him, held him down till the police could come. The police took him away. Probably didn't even give him bail. Just, there you go. Yeah, you're fine. Just come back to your court date in a year. Who knows? I mean, if it was, any Democrat-run city, that's of course what they would do. Just let him walk. But that spawned or triggered giant protests in the streets of Dublin. And a Holiday Inn that was housing migrants was burned. There was a lot of anger. Ewan McGregor is an outspoken advocate on this. Barry, you kind of nodded when I brought this up. So let me hear kind of where your thoughts are on all this.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Conor McGregor for the most part.
I'm sorry, did I say Ewan? Yeah, Conor.
Yeah. And it is shocking to me that the police chief didn't say anything about, we're going to do a better job, watching the streets and keeping crime off the streets. And we're going to basically not just let anybody and everybody come in unchecked anymore. This lawless type of immigration that they allow all over the world now. Instead, he wanted to blame the mostly peaceful protests, because it mostly was peaceful, but there was some rioters, which I do condemn that behavior and that kind of activity 100%. But for the peaceful protesters, he was like, these are radical far-right extremists. And the people there were saying, I'm not even right-wing. I'm not even a conservative. We just are concerned about our safety. So they just all, point the finger somewhere else. They're never willing to accept responsibility. And that is why we continue to have the chaos.
Yeah, he's been out making a bunch of comments saying, quote, this is on X, Conor McGregor, who, by the way, is an MMA fighter. If you don't know who he is, he's the rock star in Ireland, obviously, because he's one of their biggest celebrities for sure. Quote, she was abducted by an evil terrorist organization what's with you and your government? You paid media affiliates, constantly downplaying, attempting to repress horrific acts that happen to children. You're a disgrace. Okay, I'm sorry, I should have introduced that a little better. Leo Varadkar, who, if I'm not mistaken, is the Prime Minister of Ireland, said, "This is a day of enormous joy and relief for Emily Hand and her family. An innocent child who was lost has now been found and returned, and we breathe a massive sigh of relief." So he was basically talking about one of the Palestinian prisoners, the hostages that they had taken. If I'm not mistaken, she's 4 years old, right? And he said she was lost, and now she's been found. And we were talking about the community notes earlier on X. They're great. The term lost and found are misleading. 8-year-old Emily was lost, in quotes, lost when she was kidnapped from a kibbutz by Hamas terrorists. She was, quote unquote, found 50 days. She was exchanged by Hamas for 3 Palestinian prisoners. I could go on that for a while, but, he's been going off hard, McGregor. Ireland, quote, comma, "We are at war," he said. Ireland, we are at war. And on. He's put out some lengthier ones and some back and forth, but really it sounds like he's fed up enough that he's going to do kind of what Trump did and said, "Hey, I'm fed up enough. I'm going to run for PM. I'm going to run for Prime Minister of Ireland." And, motivation, my Lord, we thought Trump was a fighter. How about a real fighter in there?
Well, that would be amazing. I think what people are saying is they're not right wing, like Barry was saying, but they're common sense, and they are concerned for their safety. And we all are. And I think it's amazing that they've got a voice out there, stand up for the forgotten people, and to correct the record. Yeah, that's amazing. But I'm going to be honest about what I'm saying here is I, have a hard time with all of this holy war stuff. And I don't pay very close attention to it. But I did see a few videos of the hostages being released. And the one in particular was of the 9-year-old boy that was running to his father and to his brother. And the father scooped up the boy, who looked like he had just got off the bus from school. His sweater was tied around his waist. He was clean. And you said that they were hostages for like 50 days. And it looked like they were living in an apartment and, living a normal life as far as I could tell. I didn't see like a trauma or anything. But beyond that, the father scoops up the little, books out of there, so the cameras aren't paying attention. But in the meantime, he still has 2 other relatives that are coming, a mother and grandmother of this little boy, I think. And he didn't even wait for them. If that was my family, I would wait and I would want to embrace all of them, not just grab up a little kid and run. So I am skeptical. And it's not like they don't have a history of, faking some of this stuff. I'm not saying that people haven't died. People have died.
You're not suggesting that this hostage thing was all fake? Like this isn't even real? Come on.
No, I do believe that it could be a ploy, yeah, because Joe Biden is funding both sides of the war. And
you believe it could be a ploy. So you're saying, what do you mean by you believe it? Ploy? Are you saying you think this is fake?
I don't know that fake is the right, but staged. I feel like it's staged. Yeah, the people didn't look like they were hostages of killers. They're in a war, and the parents getting the family. I would be bawling my eyes out.
There's 2 levels of hostages. Okay, they have the young children, the women. I won't even say the women, because the women are included in the soldiers. They have 200 soldiers and 50 what they call civilians. The civilians are young children, elderly women, elderly, people in general. But anybody who's in any way close to, let's say 16, 15 to 40, that's a hostage, they're saying, well, they're soldiers. Because, of course, in Israel, everyone has to serve. So right there, are you a veteran? Yeah, I'm a veteran. They're all vets or serving actively or about to go into service. So they're all soldiers. That's where I think the real atrocities are going to be taking place. But yeah, the 50 that they had, the little kids and whatnot, I believe that they were to some degree treated pretty well, especially towards the end when they knew they were about to release them. Of course, they gave them a good shower and clean clothes and made them look as good as they could, a haircut, the whole 9 yards. Here you go. Feed them well, spoil them maybe for a couple days. And so when they leave, they're not terrified. And, that to me is just the optics of it. It's
optics. I would agree with that.
To say that that's all faked, it's them understanding what the world will tolerate and what it won't tolerate. And I guarantee
I don't think she's saying it's faked. That's not what I'm actually hearing her saying. I think she's saying, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying I think she's saying that it's might be slightly staged to one degree or another to heighten the effect. But anyway, I wanted to say something about this whole thing that we're talking about Conor McGregor, if you don't mind me changing the subject just for a quick second.
No, well, let's go back. That's where we should be anyway. I didn't want to get into this Israeli stuff like this, so let's not even go there. Yeah, go back to that. I've got some more quotes from him, and let's go.
Okay, I was just going to say that, it's terribly sad because now Conor McGregor is being investigated in Ireland for hate crimes, for simply caring about a child. And the 5-year-old child that was injured was one of the 5 that were most seriously injured. So this idea that just caring all of a sudden, we're talking, they are being exposed. The deep state figures, these globalist deep state figures, they are being exposed for the monsters they are and the control freaks that they are, the hateful, intolerant people that they are, and they will accept no responsibility for the chaos that they themselves have created.
Mm-hmm. And, they're importing tens of millions of people from mostly Muslim nations that are all basically of fighting age, men in their early 20s and 30s, right? So they have a radicalization issue in the Muslim religion that, can amount up to, we talked before, 10, 15, maybe 20%. Let's say it's 10%. You import 10 million people. That's 1 million radicals that you've brought into your borders and your countries. And that's going to, they're calling for intifada worldwide. They say, what is it? What's the war? Jihad, is only an inner thing. No, it's a real thing. And, America is the big devil. Israel is the little devil. Israel is just the one that's in their corner, the one that lives in their yard, in their neighborhood, the closest ones, the ones they can point to and say, shoot that guy. Trust me, it's just going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly. There's no way around it. We're on the brink of some really nasty stuff. And if it doesn't happen now, it'll happen later, which will make it that much worse. If it doesn't happen now and it happens in 5-10 years from now, then it'll just be that much worse. This needs to happen. It's a war that's going to have to kind of occur. I hate to say it, but it's going to be ugly. And we're going to see more of these stabbings. The intifada worldwide, they're calling on people to rise up.
Well, it's like
in America,
say,
man.
When lawless leaders rule, lawlessness rules the day. So when you throw the rule of law outside the window and say, we don't need it anymore, let's just open the borders wide and let anybody and everybody in unchecked, you are going to have insanity, chaos, and spikes in violence and rape and crime that you cannot believe. We already know that. That's happened in the European Union, and now they want to do that same thing here in America.
Yeah, and it's coming. It's not as bad here in the U.S. by any means, but it's coming here. It took 12 people to do 9/11. What if there were a dozen groups of a dozen people that all went out to different cities and did their own things? It could be devastating really quick. And, for them, it's a suicide bomb or whatever. Boom. There's no one to arrest. There's no one to go after. It's just done. And they say, don't blame anybody. Don't be blaming anybody. We don't know the purpose. We don't even know who he was. We have no idea what their motive was. Said the
And then
media.
whenever these people that come over illegally commit serious crimes, there's many times just released back into the public. It's just insane. I've never seen anything quite like it. But if you're a conservative and you're an 85-year-old woman and you protested at a pro-life abortion, at a abortion clinic because you're pro-life, you can spend 10 years in jail. I mean, that's the insanity, that the insane world that we live in now.
Yeah, the double standard is insane. And while we're over in the United Kingdom, let's talk about Tommy Robinson. He went to a pro-Israel rally the other day, and the cops immediately arrested him. You know, he went there to go support the cause, and they immediately arrested him. They had 20 cops around him alone. And while he was surrounded by 20 cops, he was deemed such a threat that they put a can of mace up to his face, or pepper spray or whatever it was, and just shot it right into his eyes, right into his eyeballs.
So loving.
At point blank. And then dragged him off in the back of a paddy wagon off to some prison to, you know, rubber stamp his process through the system and release him later that day when the rally was over. They didn't want him there. Why? You know?
Yeah. He didn't do anything differently than anybody else there. I mean, he's just there to peacefully protest, which is his right to do. I mean, and look, they consider him a threat for whatever reason, like we were talking about, you know, off air. But what they did to him, I think he's going to sue. So that's at least one good thing. And like I've said, the only way we can really fight back right now is to sue. And we're seeing that a lot now, where the good guys are fighting back.
Yeah. But I don't know. You talk about the double standard of law. I had to bring up that story because it's just such a double standard there, where he can't even go outside. He can't do anything because what? Because he exposed a lot of the Muslim grooming gangs all over England and exposed them, you know, for the world to see. And that was a big no-no, because the cops up there and the whole politician, they were too intimidated to even.
They turned a blind eye to grooming of children, the rape of children. And
for
that
years.
makes me wonder what kind of people they are. Are they rapists too?
For years,
child pedophiles?
Man. And then put the guy in jail who was exposing that. Right?
How could you put a guy in jail for wanting, again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier, to want to protect the children. These people, these deep state figures that are all around the world, they obviously have no respect or care for our children at all, man. And that's the thing that's really pissing people off, if I can say that. Is that they're coming for our children. Like, it's one thing to come for an adult, but it's a totally when you start coming for the innocent children. And if we can't protect we cannot protect anybody.
Yeah. And like the whole banning of books thing, you know, you're putting pornography, right? You're putting pornography in there, in these schools, in the libraries. And that's what we're against. We're not against, like, you know, Susie has two moms. Okay, fine. It's fine to explain to a kid why Susie has two moms. This is, you know, read this book and it'll explain to you that, you know, she's just got two moms. That's how it is. What those moms do in the bedroom is none of his business. Little Billy doesn't need to know what they specifically do in the bedroom, you know, to get their rocks off. That's not part of the education. You can simply explain to him that each other and they're married or whatever, you know, keep it simple, keep it to the basics. But the minute they start getting into the bedroom, into the sexual acts, you know, promoting pedophilia, promoting the idea that it's not, you know, a horrible crime for a kid to say, hey, the neighbor down the street is really nice to me and he wanted to, you know, touch me one day. No. You run and you tell. You run and you tell, and you run as fast as you can and scream. Right? Because that's stranger danger right there, man. That's not like, oh, you know, let's write a book about maybe how, you know, that's not so bad after all, and then put it in the schools. So it's like they just want to push that limit, push it right up to the edge, push it right as far as they can. Let's get the nastiest stuff we can legally get into these, you know, schools. And I'll tell you, that's another place where the culture clash is going to be gigantic. You know, wait till Queers for Palestine figure out that Palestine doesn't want anything to do with them. Man, Ami Horowitz, did you guys see that post he did this last week, where he went to to the West Bank? He went to Berkeley and then went to the West Bank. Okay, and he would of course, Palestine's the best, and we love them, and they're, for queers, and it's the way to go. And he gets over there, and they're like, "What do you think of queers for Palestine?" They're like, "What is queer? I don't know this word, queer. It's gay. What gay? Happy? No, no, no. Two men lying down together. Oh, that no, 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 no. I mean, just outrage that he would even bring it up. Just death, it's honor killing, and all that. It's the reaction you got on the street there. He interviewed 20, 30 people, and they all pretty much said the same thing. They want nothing to do. Hey, these people support you. What do you think of that? Are you happy they support you? No, we do not want anything to do with them. So it is what it is. I don't know, man. I trying to stay off the war rampage tonight, but kind of hard not to, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, well, what gets me is they always use this word inclusivity, but it's really not about inclusivity, because you have many different types of people. Like here in America, you have 80% of the population, according to a recent Gallup poll, that still believe in God. So they kind of have more traditional values. So there's going to be this large group of people that have traditional values. So if you're going to be inclusive, you can't be saying you have to believe this way to a child, because there's a diverse amount of opinions. That's what makes America great, is the freedom to believe and choose as you like. So there's going to be some people that believe that, marriage between two men is wrong and marriage between two women is wrong. Then there's going to be those that think it's okay, but you have to be able to coexist, and you can't be forcing morality. That's what the left thinks they're doing. They think they're forcing their version of morality onto the children and not giving them a more inclusive view of everybody. And so it's all about authoritarianism and forcing our children. And the children, they believe, belong to the collective, not to the parents. But it's as parents, we should be the one, our children, as we best see fit, not as the government, who's the most corrupt entity on the face of the planet. And it's governments who have murdered and slaughtered more people than anybody. It's called democide. Look it up. Over 300 plus million. I think it's 380 million over the last 100 years. If you trust government, you are deranged yourself.
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, the 100 million just from Mao. Yeah. 100 million from Stalin. Ukraine was run into the ground by Stalin. That's why everyone starved. They thought they could reinvent the wheel, like the oligarchs are trying to do today. The same people are trying to, let's talk about some victories that we've been having lately. We're talking about the Netherlands a lot because they're trying to shut down all the farms there, and the people are sick of it. And we've got Geert Wilders, who has just won a landslide election there, which is pretty incredible. I mean, that guy was arrested several times, going to court over free speech.
Stabbed multiple times. No, I don't know about that, but some of them
about the most hated politician in Holland, and so good for him, dude, good job. And now he's going to put together a coalition, although they are fighting like mad, because you got to remember, they don't have a two-party system there. He's just the leader of the biggest party, but he only has maybe 28, 29%, something like that. So he's got to get another party that has 12, 15%, support to then put together a majority coalition.
Okay.
And they are really fighting tooth and nail to prevent anyone from joining him in a coalition of any kind.
Oh, yeah.
So they could try to steal it away, and just say, hey, he's too dangerous. We can't possibly let him get the power, even though he got the vote. So, and look at the crazy roads they're going down. That's what got us here in the first place. They're trying to get rid of half the farms in the Netherlands. Like half the farms. Why?
Yeah.
What are you going to replace it with? Worms? Crickets? No, thank you. No.
Yeah, think about that. He won literally in probably the biggest globalist territory in the world. That area is the testing ground for the rest of the world. Yeah. According to the Netherlands former prime minister down there. He may still be the prime minister. I think he actually lost. But anyway, the former prime minister there said, yeah, this is the trial balloon for the whole world. And so, yeah, for him to win over in that area, that's a big deal. And the globalists are terrified by that fact that he won. Terrified.
Oh, yeah. Well, and even worse is Argentina. they have a new president who again won in a landslide, like an 11-point, lead. Who's like just like Trump. He's just like Trump. He came out with a chainsaw and just revved it on stage when he won, saying how he was gonna the budget with a chainsaw, and people, like were screaming. They couldn't get enough of it. They love the guy.
Yeah,
So
he's
yeah,
kinda
good
crazy.
on
I
them.
call him the Wolverine because he kind of looks like the Wolverine from the X-Men. He's got that long, bushy sideburns, and he's just crazy. And I love the fact that the people that are really coming to the forefront are not the kind of people that we would typically see coming to the forefront. They're like normal people.
Mhm.
They've got plenty of flaws, but they've got the purest of hearts, man. And that is what I love, man. And it really shakes the people that are into the establishment because they like things to stay the same, man. So when they see someone like him and he's kind of flamboyant, he's kind of out there, he's kind of crazy and bizarre, I love it. But a lot of people don't like it.
The Conservative PM, Christopher Luxon from New Zealand, vows to cut taxes, roll back citizens' gun restrictions, revert oil and gas exploration ban. So this guy's coming out strong as well. And this is another situation where the tides have turned. The country's now, way more conservative in New Zealand, which is phenomenal. And this guy's in charge over there, and he sounds phenomenal. Again, quote, "We believe in this country. We are ambitious for it. And we know that with the right leadership, the right policies, and the right direction together, we New Zealanders can make this an even better country," Luxon said in the speech. Going to reverse it all. I mean, just turn it all back on, give everyone their rights to guns back, cut the budget.
Mhm.
It's got to be done. And people are starting to realize it's got to be done. And I mean, with Argentina was one of the wealthiest countries on the planet by a long shot back, in the day of the 50s and 60s, They were the breadbasket of South America, the world, Not so much anymore.
What was the saying they used to say? Rich as an Argentine or something like that.
Yeah, right. That's why all the Nazis fled there, because there was a wealthy, place on the other side of the planet where they didn't, pay too much attention to who was killing who over in Europe. Kind of like Yotivation.
I know the motivation needs to say something, man. Speak up there.
Yeah.
No, I think it's wonderful. You hear the Trump of Brazil, the Trump of Argentina, the Trump of the Netherlands. And really what it is not necessarily that they're the Trump of anything. They're the common sense people. And
yes,
the people are rising up and the power is shifting. So, I mean, this is really quite amazing. And I'm getting a little bit of goosebumps as I talk about it, because the whole world has been under the thumb of this, globalist coup cabal that's been trying to take over everything with their Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 and 2050. And I believe we're really setting their agendas back through everybody becoming aware, going out, voting. People say your vote doesn't matter. Well, it really does. If those people hadn't showed up, these people wouldn't be in charge right now. So I hope that when it comes to time to vote in America, that people won't feel defeated and they'll go out in even more numbers than we have in the past, because we did it in 2016 with President Trump. If you remember, Hillary Clinton had like a 98% chance of winning. And we all went out and voted just like the people of Argentina and Brazil and all over the world. And we made a change and we took a little bit of power away from the globalists. And I just feel like there's a reversal that's happening now because people are aware, and we didn't have the awareness before. And now all over the world, I mean, it's been going on for a while, but we're starting to see results now because common people are stepping up and running for office and making a difference everywhere.
Yeah.
And Bidenomics, man, it's not just an American thing. I mean, that inflation spread all over the world. They're all feeling the bite from it. And, other countries a lot worse. It's not just, it's when, California sneezes, America gets a cold, or, something like that. It's the same with the world. If America's got the flu, everyone else is going to get the flu too. Inflation is no different. So they're feeling the Bidenomic policies all over the world. And, it's just funny to watch the White House try to spin this as if it's like the best economy ever. What are you guys talking about?
Most secure border, best economy. Biden is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
So, yeah.
Did you see
Go
the
ahead.
list that Biden put out for Thanksgiving talking points with your family?
Oh, yeah.
The malarkey.
Yeah, the malarkey. I mean, they're definitely a bunch of BS, and then they're trying now to say that President Trump is going to ruin our borders, and I don't know, it's just a crazy world we're living in, and people are going to believe them just because it was put out there in the atmosphere by the television. It's so frustrating.
And he was the first president ever to ever give the Thanksgiving proclamation to exclude God from Thanksgiving. So I'm just trying to figure out, who are we thankful
Biden was,
to?
yeah.
Who are we thankful to if it's not God? You know what I'm saying? And I get it that not everybody believes in God, but this is something that he's breaking the tradition, and not to even mention God.
But he's a devout Catholic.
Exactly. You'd think
I've
he
been told
would.
that times. Yeah, right? A Catholic who's pro-abortion up
Who
until
loves
the moment
abortion.
of birth. And, right up to the moment of birth. And, pornography in schools, and let's cut and mutilate kids. I don't know. It's
Go on. You could go on and on with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
before we
so-
moved on, I wanted to say something real quick to the Democrats out there.
about Conor
If you don't mind.
McGregor. Go ahead. Yeah, we're on Conor McGregor. Go ahead.
Well, this is about this populism. I want people to look at what the news is saying about populism. Mostly the liberal fake news. They're all saying this populist movement all around the world is dangerous. Now, please note, they're not saying this conservative right-wing populist movement. They're speaking in general terms that populism is bad. Well, what is populism? Populism is the power of the people. Do you not understand, Democrats, that the globalist left don't want you to have any power? They don't believe in populism. They believe in globalism, which is world government, total control, full spectrum dominance, and micromanaging every aspect of your life. Please, Democrats, understand, even if the liberals had a populist movement, it would be condemned just like the right-wing Trump populist movement is. They hate you and they hate all of us because they want to dominate all of us.
Absolutely. And, on sort of a related note, I saw a article talking about if Ireland doesn't belong to the Irish, who does it belong to? Because you hear these statements that Ireland is a nation of immigrants. The prime minister came out and said that the government was entirely too white. In other words, too Irish. What country does belong to its people? None? All of them? Is diversity a strength in every nation on this planet? Why is it only the West that's targeted for these types of strategies? No one's saying, hey, Japan, what's going on over there? Why aren't you taking in, 100,000 Chinese
White
people a month?
Why don't you need why
Indonesian
more
people.
white people over there? Yeah.
or
Exactly.
black people or whatever, Arabs. Let's get all the Arabs over in Japan. They should be taken in,
Don't you think it's more about than anything? It's about destroying national culture, whatever that culture is of that nation, which makes them unique, which gives them, that true diversity. But they want to make the whole world in one sort of model, and everybody has to fit into that.
Yeah. Well, they don't, though. They only want to make the West that way. Right?
Well, for now.
They're fine. They're fine with the Middle East being the Middle East. They're fine with Africa being Africa, with most of Asia being what it is today. They're fine with all that. They just don't like Europe and America being predominantly white countries or continents or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. But I think it's less about race and more about culture than anything. That's just my opinion. I think they could care less about whether you're white, black. In fact, I think it has a lot to do with sort of traditional Judeo-Christian values.
I agree with that.
I think that's what they hate the most.
Exactly. Yeah. If we were purple, they wouldn't care. They'd still want to come after us. It's about our Magna Carta and the Constitution of the United
Yes.
States.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I mean,
You're
that he
cutting
wrote.
out, brother.
Everyone's
You're cutting
talking
out.
about how
Man, oh
and he-
man, you're cutting out bad now.
that Osama bin Laden letter. Okay, go ahead. Take the mic.
No, I think you're back now. If you want to go ahead, man. It was just there for a second. You were kind of consistently
The
cutting out.
Osama bin Laden letter that he wrote was talking about how, America will always be dirty because we make up our own secular rules and laws, but we don't. They have their Sharia law, sure, but our rights are God-given. They're inalienable rights given to us by God, that say we have the Bill of Rights, right to free speech, right to congregate, right to own a gun, right not to have the government, force us to house, i.e. the little known and Third Amendment, which is there for a reason, folks. It's the third. But yeah, on and on. Things like we do have those. They just don't recognize it because it's not Sharia. It's not, of a biblical law that was handed down to us by quote unquote God, whatever God that is.
It was handed down to us by our God.
Well, our rights were given to us at birth from God. And that's what makes America so, that's what makes me so happy that we do have a lot of religious people in this country, because they understand that concept and they will fight to defend that because it's a God-given right.
That's it.
My Second Amendment was given to me, by God himself, to say I have a right to defend myself and my property and my family. And again, you don't have to be living in the, out west and back in the day in the 1800s to understand that when 5 bad guys come up on your house and it's you and your wife and your 3 kids, you got one shot to make it work, and you better not miss, because your family's getting killed if you miss that shot.
And
Today
think about that
no
larger goal of depopulation that these globalists have too. Christian values would never allow for euthanasia for any purpose and reason whatsoever, which is what they're pushing, for anyway, right? These globalists, they basically euthanize you for any reason. You're depressed. We'll just go ahead. Have you considered suicide? I mean,
Canada.
So
Canada's doing that right now.
Yeah, and they're trying to do that here in America as well. So they hate anybody with that just truly has compassion. And if you look at the shift from where we're at to where they want to take us, it's a shift away from compassion and kindness, and it's a shift more into what they call science and reason. But who's science and who's reason? You know what I'm saying? And so they believe that we've got to reduce this population dramatically. And if you have a religious value, you could never go along with that. So, it's like that guy from the World Economic Forum said, the guy from India, he said, I want the religious people want more souls, but I want less souls. And he laughs like it's funny. And it's not funny, because that's evil.
No.
And ever since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, we have, I think, 12 states in America that have banned abortions, and birth rate are up. 30,000 babies were born.
I saw that. Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Victory!
That's
Victory!
30,000 people. In just a year or so. I mean, 30,000 people that are alive now wouldn't be.
Man, that makes me so happy. You don't even know.
Expand that over 50 years. Expand it over 50 years. It's an incredible thing.
Yeah,
so,
and it's
I don't know, folks.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that on that note, we should probably about head to break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. It is Sunday night, so we are coming at you live. But, folks, we've got to go to commercial. We'll be right back after this.
And we're on radio break.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Yotivation. I really am, because I read that article too, and I'm so happy about it, man.
I was just going to say that it goes against that depopulation agenda, which is exactly why they have abortion, because it controls the population.
Blue.
When we, aren't killing everybody. And I believe 50%, I think it is, of black people get aborted. So,
Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the old kill, steal, and destroy agenda.
And about those hostages, isn't it, how many children do they have that are 10 years old?
I don't know.
Not very many, right?
I could only guess.
Yeah, but
well,
not
they've
very
released
many.
a bunch, and I would hope that the 50 or so that they released, the vast majority of anyone under 10 was included in that 50.
Well,
I would hope.
my point is that it
Think and assume.
seems several, I think 3 of them had birthdays while they were in captivity for 50 days. I just find that, I don't know. What are the odds?
Oh, come on, yo. Don't go down that road. I don't want to start hearing you talking about fucking like that's a conspiracy theory or something. Come on.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think that it could be staged. You remember when they said that in Syria that he chemical
there's a lot
weapons?
of propaganda and stuff that comes out in war, sure.
Yes, and it's not unthinkable, that this would be staged for
just
dramatic
be respectful
effects.
about it. I mean, that's like, I don't know. We got to be respectful about it all. That's all.
I'm just being factual about it, is what I'm saying. I think you should.
No,
be
you're
skeptical.
being conspiratorial about it and assuming it's all made up and fake.
I didn't say it was all made up and fake. I said that I think it's planned and staged to elicit the response that they're trying to get to continue the fighting between people.
Planned and staged. They planned the hostages.
Yes.
So on October 7th, they said, take these kids and take them away. And then, at the right time, we'll tell you when.
I think here's what I think she might be saying. Let me just cut in just for a minute.
Well, let her say what she thinks she's saying.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, well, let me just take it from a little bit different angle then, if you don't mind. I can sort of see what she's saying in the aspect that the media chooses what tragedies they want to focus in on. There's tragedies that happen every day in nations where just as many people die and just as many horrific tragedies happen. And that's what I mean by they might be staging it to, not that it didn't happen, not that it's real, not that it's not a tragedy, but they're focusing in on that to increase the divide and conquer. And that's what I'm saying. And I think that might be part of what she's trying to say. And I can't speak for her. I wanted to say that just to let her respond to that. But look, man, I was trying to think about, there was all those Christians that they
anyways,
killed.
we're going to come back a little early. We're coming up on 30 seconds here. So just to let you guys know.
Okay. And the fake news never reported on it. Never even reported about it. There were thousands of children, So it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's all, they choose and select and they cherry pick.
I say crisis actors exist, and David Hogg is an example of that. Not our David Hogg.
Right.
Twitter David Hogg.
Anyways, here comes the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side right now.
Welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show Sunday Night Edition, where we hang out, have fun, get into the news, and maybe even check in with Willie here in the next hour. Senator Kennedy, you guys like him? He's always got a zinger. I liked a quote he said today. He was talking about Kamala Harris. He said, quote, Kamala Harris is not capable. When her IQ gets to 75, sell.
Yeah, I got a good
Bada boom,
kick out of
bada
that too.
boom.
Don't you just, of course he's got someone writing these
Yeah,
for
he is.
him.
He
and
is hilarious.
can,
He should be a stand-up
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah, he
Well, he's
brings
just-
levity. He does.
yeah, he's got a good writer. He's got a David Hoggerson in the wings who's, writing for him.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely delivering the lines every single time.
He nails it. He nails it. He's not wrong.
Hmm.
I get a kick out of watching him because he's fun too.
Okay, let's get into James O. If he was put on a SSSS list, 4 S's,
Mm-hmm.
for extra screening for domestic flights. And so he was trying to figure out how, to get out of this, what's going on. He was told to call Homeland Security and, or DHS. But they're digging around a little bit on this, and they're finding out that anybody who flew into Washington, D.C. in or around January 6th, you could have
Right.
been there on business, you could have been there visiting family, doesn't matter.
Yep.
If you flew into Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, around the January 6th hearing, all the air marshals are now following you.
Mhm.
Yep.
They're monitoring you. And this is coming from Sonia Labasco of the Air Marshals National Council. Okay, she went on Fox News and spilled the beans on all this.
Absolutely.
They were taken off high-level cases to go after and follow anybody who flew to Washington, D.C. You could have been there, again, visiting your family or on business. They're still going to follow you around.
Nothing related to J6.
Yeah. Exactly. And you're on this SSSS list, which I forget what it stands for. I'm trying to scan this article. It's something like a secondary screen designation that, makes it hard for you to travel and get on that flight. One of those air marshals will be on that flight, but she's saying they're not on any other flights right now. They're not doing anything else other than monitoring January 6 people.
Which is scary because there's real terrorists out there.
What an insane world we live in.
Right.
Of course there's real terrorists, and the threat is high as it's ever been.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're following people that did absolutely nothing. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. Except for, and we're finding out when they're released these videos of January 6th that it's not at all the insurrection that even the J6 sham committee tried to convince us that it was, that the media tried to convince us that it was. And so, I mean, all of this is for a cover-up of a Fedsurrection, not an insurrection. And I hope you don't think I sound conspiratorial again. But with the release of the video footage, could put that right next to the testimony of the Capitol Police and realize that they are lying about this and that they were the instigators, they were the planners, they were the ones who dressed up as MAGA supporters. The what do they call them? Informants and undercover agents. They had to plan that. We didn't plan it. We just went there because, not me, but, other patriots. I consider myself a patriot. Went there because of what we considered to be a rigged and stolen election. And so they played on that, and then they instigated people. That it shows feds with earpieces, instigating, breaking the windows, pushing people, throwing gas canisters to a pretty peaceful crowd. And it got riled up because they riled them up. They instigated the situation. And now they have, like you were saying, following innocent American citizens with rights because they were in Washington around that time. Something needs to be done about this. If nothing is done, then it's going to continue to get worse.
And many times the peaceful protesters, when they would see somebody trying to, incite violence, they figured it out. They're like going, Fed, Fed, Fed. And they're all pointing and screaming, Fed, 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 or Antifa, Antifa, Antifa.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Oh yeah.
it wasn't obvious to people.
Right. And then you have Ray.
That was Ray
Epps
Epps
there.
too.
Yeah, Ray
Yeah,
Epps.
they were
Yeah,
doing
they're the
Ray
ones he
Epps.
was. Absolutely, calling him a
Say-
fet right on the spot.
And saying that they were going to storm the Capitol. He said that before the
Mhm.
media said it, and
Mhm.
that's what it turned
Yep.
into.
Exactly.
And in
We gotta
emails,
storm
he
it. We
said
gotta
he was
go
the one that
inside.
instigated the whole thing. He said that in the emails that he instigated the entire thing, and yet he's going to get a slap on the wrist at best. At best.
And then we have all
And
these.
it took to even bring up the any charges on him.
Oh yeah, the New York Times and
Yeah,
all these
they
other
only brought him
liberal,
up like a
liberal
month or two
medias
ago.
were defending him, saying, "Leave him alone. He's a great guy." The guy that instigated as more than anybody, he's all of a sudden a great guy, according to the New York Times. Talk about the world of insanity that we live in. I mean, how people still are in the dark is shocking to me. I am excited, though, that people are waking up. But, man, it's got to happen a little bit quicker because the deep state is moving fast.
Well,
Mhm.
once President Trump again gets his hands unbound, I think he is going to go scorched earth. And for that, I cannot wait.
I think that's probably going to happen so because even the left fears that.
Oh, yeah.
They call it revenge. I just call it what it is, which is just justice, bringing justice and the rule of law back to America.
Right.
hmm And here's a story here. You talk about stolen elections and whatnot. Mojave County. This is from Just the News, justthenews.com. Mojave County, Arizona, they're considering a hand count right now. The state's attorney general said basically, if you do that, you're going to be breaking the law, and we can charge a bunch of people there with misdemeanors and felonies and whatnot. And Cochise County as well is looking to do the same thing, hand count. And they say, no, the most you can do is you can hand count little samples to make sure that they're sort of representative, right?
Oh, okay.
But you can't hand count the whole thing because it's
Let
illegal.
me guess, that's a liberal county. That's a
There's
liberal
no way-
area, isn't it?
Well, no, the attorney general is Mojave County is more conservative, right? That's why they want a hand count. And it's not a very big county.
But the guy
It's,
that says no, he's probably liberal, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Well, of course, yeah, the attorney general, yeah. I mean, there's the Secretary of State, all those. It's all run by what's her name? Not Lake, but
Katie Hobbs.
the lady who won, Katie Hobbs, yeah,
Oh,
Katie Hobbs, the one and only,
goodness. Yeah, the one and only.
yeah, the one who refused to debate and refused to go through anything. And I
Another
don't know,
basement
I mean,
Biden.
I criticize people for refusing to debate, but you'd say, well, Trump is refusing to debate as well. And I'd say, well, kind of, not really. It's a totally different thing. He's not hiding in his basement like she
Right.
did, like Biden did. Trump is by no means hiding in his basement.
No, he's out there. He's still campaigning. He's just not going along with RNC. And they're upset because now they're not getting the ratings and that they thought they would because they need President Trump, and he knows that. And they know it.
That's a big blow to the fake news. In a way, that's a very good strategy to continue to watch the fake news tank. I kind of never thought of that until now. I'm glad you brought that up.
And all these across the world, we've seen Paul Pellivier up in Canada. I hope I got his name right. The minority group in Canada. I mean, this guy could probably be the next prime minister of Canada, likely will, and he handles the press so well. He just takes the Trump attitude of, well, you lie all the time. You're fake news. Why would you're going to ask me a loaded question that's not even real? Next. Did you see him eating that apple when he was talking to that one dude?
I didn't see it.
He's just casually oh, it's great. It's great. He's just casually eating this apple while, there's this quote unquote newscaster is asking him all these loaded questions, and he just breaks apart. He's like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, I never said that. That's not my position at all. Why would I respond to that when you're just making this up? And then he just takes another bite of this apple.
Wow.
Yeah, look that up. It's honestly really funny, and I'll give you guys a perfect opportunity to look that up. Paul Pellivier, Canada, eating an apple while being interviewed, because we have to go to break. You can look that up during the break and watch it. It's good stuff. We'll be right back after this.
And we're on radio break.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out for certain, man. I love it when
Big shout out
somebody
to
doesn't allow them
Keeman
to,
over
allow
on
the
Twitch.
fake news to get to them.
Jamie Jenkins on Facebook. And Willie over on Facebook listening to us tonight.
Hi, Willie.
Wherever he's you at, you
Willie
better
or a
get you
different
in
Willie?
here.
Yeah, I think President Trump set an example and he gave courage. Courage is contagious.
Oh, yeah.
And people are standing up all across the world.
I mean, even if Trump ended up to be a fraud, which I don't believe he is at all, but I'm just saying, even if he wasn't, look what he's done on a global scale.
Yeah.
He's changing the world, man. You know, I think a lot of people they learned from him how to stand up to the press and how to just say, like, you're a fly, go away, you're just a fly.
You're a fly on the wall.
You don't matter. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the memes, with that Argentina guy with the chainsaw. You know how they have President Trump and Vladimir Putin riding a lion and a bear in the river shirtless? Can't wait to see what they come up with the chainsaw guy.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name again? Mier? I can't remember.
Well, now Bloomberg is saying, what's it going to be like if Trump dies before 2024?
Yeah.
Which makes me think, uh-oh.
I know.
Somebody's planning on possibly taking him out of somebody on the, in the deep state.
Well, they have
Oh,
been.
yeah. We talked about it before. Like, if he ends up in a jail somewhere, like, will they Epstein him,
Will they suicide him?
Yeah. I hung myself by my tie.
I hung myself by my hair. I cut my hair off and I hung myself by my hair.
With the red tie.
I sewed together a beautiful thread. It was a beautiful blonde thread.
It was a beautiful, beautiful braid of my hair and I hung myself. It was beautiful.
Beautiful blonde thread. A braid. Beautiful, beautiful braid. It cut right into my neck.
There's no rope tighter than my hair. It's the tightest rope ever. It's the most magnificent, beautiful, wonderful thing.
Better than Goldilocks.
And you all thought it was a toupee. It's my real hair. It's always been my real hair.
Willie, where are you?
Willie, where are yous?
Willie, hey,
Has anybody heard from
jackass.
Mr. David Hogg? Has anybody heard from him yet?
No.
The one from Harvard or the one from our show?
Show.
Oh. Hey!
Where's our Willie?
Oh, he's so handsome. Oh, Willie.
I see Willie, but his mic is turned off.
Aunt Mama Lou.
Hi,
Uh-oh.
Willie.
Oh, Yotivation Nation. I love me some Yotivation. Hey, we forgot to get Aunt Mama Lou in there last week. I felt bad.
Oh, don't you ever feel bad about that?
Yeah.
So,
How you fellas feeling tonight?
good.
Doing good, man. How about you?
Life is good. I think we're
You got the
finally
rocket
gonna
juice
leave-
going, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're finally going to leave Kentucky tomorrow.
Oh, you're still there?
Yeah,
Kentucky.
yeah, we're going to leave tomorrow and go back to South Carolina.
You were racing cows.
Yeah, I got a load
Oh,
of
yeah,
racing
yeah.
cows. Did
Okay.
you know that 2 out of 3 people in the United States live within 100 mile of the border zone, and that you have no rights within the border zone according to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, that's been that way.
Yeah,
for
if you're
quite
100
a while,
miles of a
actually.
border.
Yeah.
That happened
Yeah,
under
if you're
Bush
in 100
Jr.
miles of a
administration.
border.
That was under the Bush Jr. administration when that went into play.
And I lived in Chicago then, and that's extended through the Great Lakes. So, like, if you lived anywhere on the Great Lakes, like in Chicago, you were in that zone.
Yeah.
They consider that a border, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they consider, the Gulf of Mexico, they consider the Pacific Ocean, that side, they consider all that a border.
Oh, no, but the Great Lakes, too. Like, in Michigan specifically.
Well, I mean, that's a given because of the distance from Canada.
Yeah, but
Lake Erie.
like, I mean, yeah, Lake Erie and Superior, but not Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is completely surrounded by states, but they still considered it all the way down to Chicago to be part of that zone.
Well,
Right.
I put it in the chat there.
Yep.
It's just something I
There
came
it is.
across. I thought it was interesting.
right. Like, look at that. Why would Chicago? Chicago's like a Midwestern city that shouldn't be considered a border town.
Yeah.
But there it is.
Okay.
You look at that picture, and sure enough.
Yeah, because I was looking at all these videos where people are, refusing to talk to the border
All
border
right,
patrol.
3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Welcome to hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. And when I said that would be a short break, I meant it. We are back live on the air, and tonight we've got with us live from the great bluegrass state of Kentucky, we got Willie from Willie's Worm Farm and Cricket Emporium. How are you doing, Willie?
Yeah. Hey, man. Oh, look at here. Hey, we're going to leave Kentucky, man. Hey, we got a load of cows. Hey, these are racing cows. We got them up here in Kentucky, man. Hey, I had a hard time. I had to get me one of them cow hauling trailers, man, and I got me a truckload. Yeah, no. Hey, anyway, hey, how y'all fellas doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Yeah,
doing good.
Hey, where's that? Hey, y'all got that Motivation Nation there?
Hi,
We sure do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, I love me some Motivation. Hey, Motivation Nation, she's a superstar. Yeah, y'all can find Motivation. Hey, y'all just Googleize Motivation Nation. Hey, she is a superstar, man. Hey, I tell you something else I seen, man. It was a superstar. Hey, look at him. Hey, that fella, that Donald Trump, man. Hey, he was down in South Carolina. It was what, today or yesterday or day before or something, man. Hey, he was down there what they call a football stadium. Williams-Brice football stadium, what it called, man. Hey, and I seen on I seen they on another site, man. Hey, they was talking about, oh, hey, look, Donald Trump, he got booed. That was a lie. That was a lie. Hey, they come out, oh, Donald Trump got booed. He didn't. Hey, I got the
saw
video.
a huge standing ovation he got.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm telling y'all what, he got, and they was him and they was standing up, and I tell y'all what, hey, Donald Trump, man, he got South Carolina sewed up, man. I'm guaranteeing y'all that. Look at him. Hey, man, hey, they all kind of I can't say dead gum anymore. I got in trouble for that. Hey, the FCC said you can't say dead gum on the radio no more, so I'm having a hard time.
Willie, you just said it like 5 times.
Yeah, but,
just the best thing is to stop when you're digging a hole. Stop digging, okay?
Yeah, well, hey, I'm just like I am. I'm just trying to apologize, man. Hey,
don't say the banned word when you're apologizing for saying the banned word. That's all.
It's what they call a force of habit, man. Look at him. Hey, I tell y'all what. Hey, we're all here because we ain't there. Hey, fella told me that the other day. He said, you ain't right, man. He said, you ain't all here, are you? I said, yeah, I'm all there. I just ain't all here. Look at him. Hey, man, that fella, he said, you all over the place, man. I told him, I said, hey, look, he gave me an idea too, man. Hey, I figured out what I'm gonna do, man. Hey, I'm gonna join the army, man. Hey, there's a thing I seen it where, hey, the army is hiring, man. Hey, here's the the problem. Hey, I looked it up, man. They got age limits, man, and for it though. Hey, but look at him. Hey, the Air Force, you can go into the Air Force up to 39 years old. The Army is 35 old. Hey, I joined the Coast Guard at 31, and the Marine Corps. You got to be, you can't be no older than 28 years old. Join the Marine Corps. Hey, and the Navy, man. Hey, I done studied up on it. The Navy is 39 years old, and Space Force, man. Hey, you join the look at Space Force, Space Force, man, up to 39 years old, man. Hey, and I'm 50-some years old, man. Hey, but what they done done, man, is they done took into account, man, all my special training and stuff, man. And I talked to one of them recruiters, man. Hey, I told them I done SEAL training down there in Orlando, man. Yeah, I trained a bunch of SEALs.
You told him you were a secret agent, man? You were a secret agent, man.
Yeah, I told them that too, man. Hey, because y'all remember when I went to spy school and I got ties to like CIA and FBI and DEA and ATF and a whole bunch of other 3-letter words, man. Hey, I got worldwide famous, man. Hey, I done special operations, reconnaissance, man. We did field training down there in the swamp with my Uncle J. Carl Bob, man. We was looking for alligators and stuff. Hey, what we do, man, we jump on them alligators and we tag them, you know, and we can watch them wherever they are, man. Hey, and when the alligator season rolls around, hey, we done got them tagged, man. Look at him. Hey, but that's what I'm gonna do. And I talked to that fella down there at the recruiting station, man, and he told me, he said, well, you know, he said we might have a special place for you in the Army, and I'm waiting to hear back from them, man. Hey, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna serve my country.
What are you gonna do in the Army? Because I know some people. I can get you like enlisted in boot camp. Like we can make that happen, Willie.
Yeah.
You know,
man,
you're gonna have to go through boot camp, right?
Yeah, but no, hey, the problem is, man, they want to do a DNA test on me every time I go down there. He told me, he said, I'm gonna have to do a DNA test, and I told him, I said, well, I don't know if I can pass a DNA test, man. That's a drugs and alcohol test. I don't know if I can pass one of them.
No, no, that's not what it is. It's a DNA is your DNA. It's a genetic thing. They want to put you in the database and mark your genetics. Yeah.
No, man, it's drugs and alcohol, man. Hey, look at him. Hey, I got some other news I want to tell y'all, man. Hey, y'all know.
Go for it. What do you got?
If you don't know, hey, look at him. My name is Willie Lee. I run Willie's Worm Farm down in Waldo, Florida, and Willie's Cricket Emporium up in Sandy Run, South Carolina, man. Hey, but I got other ventures, man. I got other things that I do, man. I also run Willie's Worm Farm Roundtable Radio Show, and that's in association with I don't want to make that Mark Dragus Productions mad. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna start there. Hey, Mark, you there, man? Hey, Mark.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, hey man, hey, you seen what I done there, man?
Yeah, good job. Good job. My youngest daughter Tori has her thumbs up and gave you a wink.
Yeah, good. Oh, look at him. I had to name a monkey after. I got monkeys, man. I got about 200 some monkeys. 200 some monkeys. Hey, man. Hey, but no. Hey, they got this woman, man. Hey, she is the Ukrainian president, man. She is the wife of a Ukrainian president. Hey, and we sent her a whole bunch of. No. Hey, this is breaking
Zelensky.
news.
He's the president of Ukraine. Is he married?
Yeah, he got a wife, man. Hey, and the first lady, hey, she came to town.
And you're hanging out with her.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, it's breaking news, man. Hey, this happened back in September. Hey, and you probably didn't cover it. Y'all cover a lot of stuff, man. Hey, but guess what? She spent $1.1 million on some. Hey, and I ain't even lying, man. Hey, I researched it and I checked on Snopes.com, man. Hey. Snopes is full. Yeah, no, hey, they full of it most of the time, man. Hey, but whenever Snopes says it's true, whenever Snopes says it's true, hey, it's true. She spent $1.1 million on jewelry. Hey, no, that ain't lie. Hey, ain't no lie. Hey, Zelensky, man. Hey, he come and he begging for money. You know, hey, he went up in front of that Pulaski woman and Joe Biden, man. He said, "Hey, y'all give me some money. How we need more money and more." Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Y'all probably didn't know, but y'all maybe y'all knew, but you forgot you knew, man. Hey, but hey, the Pentagon, man. Hey, they can't even dig them. There goes that word again. I apologize to all you federal regulatory folks, man. Hey,
Really, just don't say it. Just don't
hey,
say it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I can't help it, man. Hey, but there's a whole bunch of money, man. Hey, that didn't come up missing. They can't. Hey, I seen that. They one of them Congress women. She come up there and she said, "Well, hey, we want accountability for all this money." Hey, guess what? They can't even find one penny. They don't know where it's going to.
Yeah.
Like, no, hey, they ain't no lie, man.
Trillions of dollars.
Yeah,
Trillions.
man.
Just for all the just left and right. Go on.
Yeah. Hey, see, y'all know, man. Hey, y'all on top of things, man. Hey, that's why y'all the number one radio show in the nation, man. Hey, I'd rather listen to y'all. Yeah, no, hey, I'd rather listen to y'all than listen
Number
to
one in your hearts. Number one in your heart, yeah. Not on the record, but yeah. That's
hey, y'all number one, man. Hey, y'all better than Alex Jonesky, and y'all better than that Joe Rogan, and y'all better than any radio show out there, man. Hey, there ain't no lie. Hey, but look at him. Hey, here's what I want to know. Hey, I tell y'all what I've been doing, man. Hey, all week long, I ain't done a whole lot of nothing, man, except for rounding up these cows and Aunt Mama Lou. Hey, I got Aunt Mama Lou up here in Kentucky with me. She was down there on the farm, and I sent for her, and she come up here because we gonna haul 2 truckloads of these cows back down to South Carolina, and I got Aunt Mama Lou. She's here with me too. Hey, Aunt Mama Lou, talk to the fellas.
Well, hi, fellas.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Mama Lou. Welcome to the show. You are live on the radio.
Hi, everybody. Well, I miss y'all so much.
Now, why y'all need 2 truckloads of racing cows? I mean, you got these cows to race them, right? Don't you just get the couple fastest, 2 or 3 fastest ones and race those? And why do you need 2 truckloads full?
Well, sometimes things happen and you got to have spares. Now, I know that there's a racetrack, and very unfortunately, this is for real, too. Very unfortunately, a whole bunch of horses died. And so we're going to be having extras just in case a fire breaks out, because we don't want to run into that problem where, we have a business and then we don't have a business. So we're getting extra. That's all.
Well, I gotta wonder how safe these cows are if you need that many extras, though. I mean, are you gonna run them into the ground? You're gonna treat them good, right?
Well, yeah, of course we are. We love them. The only thing I got a problem with is they leave these big old cow patties everywhere. I got to get used to that, because my shoes are getting all. Well, that's why you gotta wear boots, because they're deep too.
Well, isn't that beneficial to the crickets and the worms, though? I mean, don't they like?
Yeah.
The cow patties?
That's why we got to get so many, because it's beneficial, and we're doing everything organically now.
Yeah, in a lot of countries in the world, they can heat their house in the winter with those,
Well, honey, you could build a house with them if you want to. You just turn them into bricks. Yeah.
And hating them cows, man. Hey, it ain't like horses. If a horse, he gets wounded or something, man, or something happens to him and he dies, man, hey, all you can do is take that horse and send it to the glue factory, man. Hey, but these cows, hey, you can eat them. Doggone. Yeah, when they can't race no more, man, hey, you can eat them. There's word again, man, they shoot far. But no, hey, you got to have ideas, man. If you ain't got you got to either you got to be thinking, man.
That's right. And Willie is actually balancing things out, because he's running that cricket flower emporium, and you gave him a whole bunch of garbage one day saying that he in the New World Order. So he decided we're gonna get some more cows. We're gonna balance it out. So we're gonna put more cow farts in the air.
Okay. Now these are like milking cows, or are they? They're not bulls or anything. They're cows. They're milking cows. Imagine you're gonna get a bunch of milk. Well, how do you work?
Yeah, no. Hey, man, we got bulls and girl cows, man. Boys and girl cows.
Okay.
Look at him. Yeah, no. The thing about it is man, we was thinking about breeding them too. You know what I mean? We're gonna put them together, and
Okay.
you get a boy cow and you get a girl cow, and you put them together,
Well,
man. Hey, yeah, not hey, and then they make little baby cows. I shoot.
Well, yeah, but
I didn't
now,
think I could
now
explain the birds and the bees to
you
man.
typically only want one bull, bull cow. Well, the bulls have the big horns and everything, right, Willie? You only want like one of those, or maybe two, but you got to keep them separated. They'll fight each other, right? And then they get their harem of the cows, right? You see what I'm saying? And they fight over the cow, the women, the women folk among them. The bulls fight over that, so you got to keep them separated.
Well, really, maybe
know what
we
I'm
can
saying?
sell tickets to it, make more money.
Look at him.
Well, okay. Now, also the bulls are much faster. It's a boy cows versus girl cows. I hate to say it, but genetically, them bulls and boys, they're faster runners. So,
Hey, man, look at him. I got something else I want to know. Hey, look at him. Hey, I sent y'all a mail, man. Y'all look at this thing. I seen this thing that they sending in. They teaching this stuff in the school system, man. They talking about people that identify as one thing or identify as something else, man. They got herself and his and himself and theirs and themselves, man. Hey, but they got a new thing they come out talking about you identify as a he, him, or whatever. They got a thing they come out. Hey, they teaching this in the school, man. It's called zers or zer self or zim self. Starts with X or X self, man. Look at him. They got a bunch of dumb stuff going on in the world. Hey, Bullhorn Barry. You got a Bullhorn Barry there? Hey, Bullhorn Barry. Yeah. Hey, Bullhorn Barry, where's your Rizzo at, man? Hey, man. Hey, I'll
Willie,
get your Rizzo
Willie,
back. No,
Willie,
hey,
love the ones you're with. Love the ones you're with.
Look at, hey, but y'all doing good, man. Getting that Bullhorn Barry, man. Hey, because I ain't gonna, man. He's the smart one in the show, man. But he tells it like it is, and he tells it loud and proud, man. Hey, but here's what I want to know. Hey, Bullhorn Barry, you've been paying attention to all this, and I'm just gonna come out, man. I don't care. I'm gonna offend somebody. Y'all fitting to kick me off this show anyway, man. Hey, look at y'all. Hey, y'all got all this mess going on out there with women identifying as men and all this other kind of stuff that's going on, man. Hey, but what I want to know, how you supposed to, and I'm asking this to Bullhorn Barry, because he's smart and all, hey, how you supposed to like animals and stuff, man? Hey, if they female or male, I mean, because they people, they get mad, they get offended. Nowadays, if you like misgender somebody or something or whatever, they get all offended. I seen another video like that too. Hey, but look at here, even these people, man, they say, okay, well, I don't identify as a man or a woman, and they call themselves what's that word, Aunt Mama Lou? Hey, Aunt Mama Lou, what's that word they call themselves? They don't identify as nothing.
Non-binary.
Hey, that's it, man. Hey, what do they call? Hey, what they call a different, like a male or a female dog, man, or a cat or a cow?
But well, I mean, bulls versus cows. Dogs, female dog. My dog gets misgendered all the time. All the time. I get really angry about it.
Yeah, I noticed.
They misgender my dog. It's very offensive.
Yeah, hey, man. Hey, this is your show, man. But I'm talking to Bullhorn Barry.
Yeah, I'm not sure I even know the question about animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's why I was jumping in.
Help me out here, because I don't get the question.
Well, that's why I was jumping in, because it was a really dumb question. Like, Willie, I'm sorry, Barry. If you have a dog, how do you know if it's a male or female? You look under the belly, right? You look under there and you see.
Hey, so now you go up to one of these people identify as that non-binary or binary or whatever, man. Hey, and you look at them, you ask them, say, is your dog a boy or a girl? They're gonna get mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah.
I
Maybe the
tell you
dog
what-
gets mad at you. Maybe the dog identifies as non-binary, and he or Z is very upset with you.
Hey, but
I get upset.
Motivation trying to talk.
No, it's Aunt Mama Lou, and I get upset because they say that we's misgendering when a boy say he's a girl. Well, I'm telling him that he's the one that's misgendering because I'm a girl, and he's telling me that he's a girl, he's misgendering. That's who's misgendering. They're confusing everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like how they do it in Thailand. Will you ever heard of the lady boys there in Thailand?
oh man, I seen them on TV, man.
If things are moving along and you're wondering, they just encourage you to reach down there and just like feel for yourself and figure out, and they don't take offense at that. It's just a hee hee. Yeah, they go hee hee. And you at least know what you're getting into, man. If you're about to, you got to check yourself.
Well, I could understand checking yourself, but checking your neighbor? And
Well,
they don't get in
you got
trouble?
to check for yourself. You got to check for yourself is what I'm saying, And that's not even considered rude. If they're coming on to you, you got to check. You check.
You could reach over and you could touch them on the crotch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Well, they need to. You need to know. They know you need to know. What are they? If you're going that way anyway, what's the offense?
Oh my!
oh man, and it's sad, man. Hey, but they've been doing that mess over yonder for years and years, man. Hey, but the way this world is coming to, man, male about how they teaching this stuff in the schools, man. Hey, that's what I don't understand. This teacher, she trying to tell the students how to gender one another and how not to be offensive. And that's a problem too, man. Anytime you say anything negative about anything, and you just asking a question, man, they gonna try to call you something, man, and try to call you this and try to call you that and say you this or trying to say you that, man. And what that does, man, that just censors folks and it shuts them down. And they ain't many platforms out there where you can say, exactly what it is that you think, or and this right here, this radio, this here called the Censorship Sucks Round Table Radio Show, man. And this is one of the places where folks can talk about anything they want to talk about and be heard, man.
That's right.
That's right. We say thank you, censorship sucks, because a lot of times things we say, they don't want to hear it. They won't cancel us. But you always give us a voice every single week, no matter how crazy. We appreciate you. You're good. You're a man.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else, man. Hey, I've been studying up on the earthworms, man. Hey, earthworms are 82% protein. They're rich in omega-3s. And hey, what you can do, man, is you can take them things and you clean them up real good, man. And you mix them up with cumin and curry, man. Hey, and they taste like bacon. Oh, look at him. Hey, if y'all want some good worm, folks, man. Hey, I'm plugging Willie's worm farm right now, and I ain't heard from here lately, and I don't know what Mama Lou's. Yeah, what?
They don't taste like bacon. They taste like worms that have just been left out in the sun. Folks, if you're ever curious to know what Willie's worm hot dogs taste like, next time you're walking down the sidewalk and you see a worm that's just been dried out on the sidewalk in the sun, it's just all dried out. Just pick it up and eat it. Pick it up and eat that puppy. That's what Willie's Worm Farm is selling.
Hey, you've been talking to Saul good, man. Hey, 'cause that's what I've been doing, man. I've been taking these worms and drying them out on the sidewalk, man. And when you dry them out on the sidewalk, you got dried worms, and you can take them, you can mix them with cocoa, man, and you can have chocolate worm cocoa. Hey, and I take them, and I'll take thousands of worms, man. Hey, I dry them out on the sidewalk, on tin roof and everything else, man. Hey, and I done figured out a way. I hadn't figured out a way to put them all together and turn them into like a worm paper, man. Hey, and I'm making worm toilet paper. Hey, I'm telling you, man, you got to have ideas. You got to be diversified, man. Hey, you can have worm toilet paper, really? And you can you can write on it too, man. Hey, this right here will save a whole.
And they're putting cricket flour in our actual foods. It's out there.
Yeah, man. Hey, they've been putting sawdust in your cheese for the longest time. Hey, I'm gonna tell everybody, everyone here in Radio Land, if you don't
You
believe
got
me,
10
just
seconds.
ask.
Go ahead.
Hey, if you don't believe
We
me,
got 5
just
seconds.
ask. No, hey, you can go
Okay,
down.
we got to
to
go
the
to
store.
break.
Hey,
Folks, we're out
Hey.
of time. We got to go to break. We'll be right to
Hey.
this.
And we're on radio break.
How dare you cut off Willie like that, man?
But I still need to.
It's tradition.
Willie likes being cut off.
You told him 10 seconds, then at 5 seconds, you just cut him off again. How dare you?
Well, because I had to take us out, you know.
I know.
What the hell?
So Willie,
Well, Willie, you didn't do very good getting anything in edgewise there the last 10 seconds, man.
Willie got all kind of ideas, man. You take them worms and dry them out and make writing paper and all
I like
kind
the
stuff
idea
out
of organic
toilet paper.
worm toilet paper.
Hey, there you go, man. You got to have ideas, right?
We have no shortage of them.
Yeah,
That
and I
means the
love
resources.
me some Aunt Mama Lou.
I love me some Sweet Willie.
You guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you.
Thanks.
Oh, we love you right back, Willie.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I sent that video. You can look at that video, and this is a school teacher teaching this in school about the whole hers and zers and zims. I never even heard of zers and zims.
Sound like an alien from another planet. I am
Zercell.
Sir from planet Plutonian, and you will obey my every order.
Yeah, I mean.
So
look
Willie,
at that
I
video.
see a scandal. I see a scandal with you cutting the horns off a bull and trying to pass it off as a cow so it can race against the cow. You know, the female cows. Right?
you might be on to something.
Yeah, right.
Put some
Just
latex
do a little
gloves
tuck
on it.
Yeah, it's got a raging hard on though, and you bring it in the room.
Oh no, I think I don't know, something about maybe I had one of my female cows. It was faster than the male cows, and I put horns on her.
Yeah.
And what do they call that? What does that identify as then?
Exactly.
Is
My-
that
I got a big
Cow.
old 16-inch salami and hung it down between her legs. And yeah.
My female cow identifies as a bull.
Hmm.
You could just
A couple of
transplant put a inside of him, inside of the bulls. That'll fix everything.
There you go. He's been transformed. He is undergoing surgery.
Maybe you could
There
get
you
some
go.
of those fake breast things where men can babies. Put those on the bottom.
Oh,
Oh, like
Alright.
Buttigieg did. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
so,
yeah.
Oh,
that's
that's
so
so
weird.
sweet. Gosh,
What about
gives me
these
memories of
people
my
that-
childhood.
what about
30
the people that
seconds.
actually talk to animals, right?
All right. Well, I love you guys.
All right, Willie, you
All right,
take
Willie, we
care.
love you, man. Take care.
Bye.
Have a
Love you,
good
brother.
week.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, Willie.
Bye. Man, the breaks are short today.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Last one.
I'm
was
having
really
problems.
good, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Welcome back to hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Round Table Radio Show. Boy, Willie's crazy, right? He keeps getting crazier every like he's not getting better, is he?
Oh, he's full of ideas.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought by now he'd be getting better. You know, it's been a few years he's been working with us, and you know, you'd think every year he'd get a little better, and by like you give him a decade or so, and maybe he's not insane, but he's just going the other way. He's going straight down.
I don't know. I think racing cows are better than urinals that you wear at the carnival. Remember?
But he's giving up on that. He's not. He's wait till next year's state back there with the urinal. He's not giving up on that. It's just out of season right now because it's getting into winter and there aren't many festivals.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. The guy's insane. Let's all just leave it at that. Speaking of insane, from justthenews.com, Colorado top 4 ranked choice voting initiative to be filed targeting 2024 ballot. So Colorado already has mail-in ballots, right? They've already got, everyone gets a mail-in ballot. Now they want ranked choice voting. And I mean, even if you do, let's explain it. Hello. I'm sorry, hello?
Okay, you're
Lost
back.
you for there for a minute.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, we
Oh,
heard
okay.
you say
I'm sorry.
ranked choice ballots.
Voting.
Voting.
No, ranked choice voting. In Colorado, they want it to be initiated for the 2024 battle. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there, but
And what does that mean?
this is for anyone who doesn't know what ranked choice voting is. Basically, you vote for your first candidate, and then you vote for your second, third, and fourth. So now you made 4 votes: 1, 2, 3, 4. And if the first person, who on election night, the top leading person doesn't get 50% of the vote, then they get rid of the last place, the fourth place person, and take everyone's second choice from if you voted for the last place person, they take your second choice, and then that goes up the rank until somebody gets 52% of the vote. There was like that lady in Alaska named Chewbacca, something like that. I swear her name was straight up Chewbacca. She would have won had ranked choice voting not been in place in Alaska, but Murkowski took it over and the seat flipped to a Democrat. So, yeah, this is a real bad thing. Nobody ever asked for this. They made it up out of whole cloth because it can kind of benefit the establishment. And yet nobody, ranked choice voting, you vote for 4 people, and then what if this happens and that happens and this happens and that happens? Even when I try to explain it to you guys tonight in pretty simple words, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. A lot of you are scratching your heads going, wait, how does that work again? The person with the most wins. That's easy. You get the most votes, you won. That's easy. Okay, if they want to say if no one gets over 50%, then the top 2 run off to a run. Well, gets how that works. Ranked choice voting is incredibly complicated and dumb. I mean, it's not that complicated. It's basic math, but nobody gets it. And it does weird things like flip seats, where you thought you won, and then a week later they recounted the ballots in 7 different ways, and suddenly, hey, you're winning. And by the way, I don't even think you could do this without voting machines. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You need machines that can go crank out these and do the algorithms and everything in the background to make this even happen. Hand counting votes like this would be kind of ridiculous. So, I don't know. It's an affront to our democracy as far as I'm concerned. And again, Colorado already has all mail-in ballots anyway. So, what do you guys think of this? I'll bring it up.
Well, they have legalized marijuana, so maybe they were all sitting around getting stoned and came up with some crazy concept. I don't know. States can do what they want, I suppose, right? But it doesn't make sense to me.
I can, and I resent you blaming the weed. I think, a lot of great ideas come up, but
they were getting great ideas.
But not everybody can handle their weed the same. That's the thing.
There you go.
Not everybody handles their weed the same.
I don't have a problem with weed. I don't. But I'm just saying maybe they smoked a little too much and came up with this crazy idea.
And they're like, this idea that's going to change voting forever, man.
Well, no, this is, like I said, they've already put this in place in Alaska and I think 4 other states. I'm trying to scan this article quick to see if it can jump out at me while I'm scanning it. But no, it's Lauren Boebert, while I'm scanning, is quoting, "I will oppose this effort. Rig our electoral system. I have ranked choice voting is a scheme launched by well-moneyed interests who are only concerned with their own power and not giving Coloradans
a choice at the ballot box, is
That's
how
what
she
it
responded.
sounds
And I
like.
couldn't agree more.
Well, I
Yeah,
would just
that
say,
is-
like Willie, the
Right.
liberals have a lot of ideas, and those ideas aren't always the best of ideas. Sorry, Willie, but not all your ideas are great. But eventually, if you do enough bad ideas, eventually you get a good one. Let's hope that's the case for the Democrats, because their ideas are terrible.
But that shows you how desperate they're becoming too. They can only win through cheating. And so they're trying to change the laws, can legalize their cheating scheme.
Yeah, and again, it's not cheating if it's legal, right? So
Right.
things that we would consider to be cheating, like vote curing, okay? So it's after Election Day, and you didn't sign your ballot, or the signature looks really bad. So they call you up and say, hey, is this your signature? And you say, oh, yeah, I think so, right? And they come over and maybe have you sign it again, and they cured your ballot. So that's wrong. People going to a nursing home and harvesting ballots is legal in many states. Does that make it moral? Absolutely not. I mean, you go in there and you have in some bad cases, maybe a nurse or whatever who controls the pudding supply or the Jell-O supply or whatever it is that is their, treat, the television remote, and says, hey, vote this way. You want to watch Jeopardy at 4:00? Yeah, vote this way. Otherwise, we're not going to watch Jeopardy. Watch old reruns of Tom and Jerry, which, hey, I don't know. You get my point. When people can go into a nursing home and collect all those ballots, take them all with them, and then put them into a box somewhere and say, this is how these 100, 200 people in this nursing home voted. That's wrong. It's wrong.
I think the left shenanigans are going to fail, man. I really do. And I think that's the beauty of what is to come, is that they're going to be doing everything they can with all the power that they have, and they're still going to lose, because Trump will be president in 2024, and there's going to be a massive shift in America in a lot of good ways. Number one, with the economy, that would be a great start. Once Trump turns back the economic engines on and things start churning again, I mean, a lot of people are going to be happy, and they're not going to be so happy about these, weird shenanigans that the left is always doing. They're always doing something to try to, alter things. Like the outcomes of elections.
Well, they have to. I mean, it gets to the point where, you're popular. Look at Donald Trump's popularity right now. It is through the moon.
Huge.
I've never seen.
And
I've
everywhere
never
he goes,
in
they're
my
shouting
lifetime seen
USA.
anybody. Yeah, walk into an election like this and not even have to lift a finger for the primary to go his way by 90%, because everybody realizes, man, the dude deserves another term. Get it. He deserves it. He earned it. And what they're doing to him to try to throw him in jail, to trump up all these charges against him. Real estate shenanigans in New York City. You've got to be kidding me. Every bank that loaned him money came in and said, wow, we'd loan him money again. We made millions of dollars. And yeah, we know what we're doing. We're big boys. We're Morgan Chase or whatever. We're the big boys in the room. When we loan somebody $1 million, we don't rely on them writing down the value of the asset, and then we say, okay, we'll loan you based on that, because we're not going to go out and look and even pretend to know what the 80-story high-rise down the street is worth. Are you kidding me? It's a joke. It's just a joke what they've done to him, and everybody sees it. And it can only end with the total victory of freedom in America. It can only win that way. If we don't win that way, then the world loses everything. It's that big. I don't know. We always say the next election is the biggest one in our life.
All these populist leaders winning, I think that's a sign of things to come, man. And I think the deep state knows that. And that's why they're trying all the shenanigans. That's why they have to resort to doing those kinds of things, because they are terrified. They're about to lose, their power. Think about that. They've had this power for so long, right? this uniparty thing, right?
Yeah.
And now you've got a guy that's a populist like Trump. He's coming in, he's rocking the house, and they don't like it. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do to stop it. It is a juggernaut.
Imagine if McGregor announces that he's running for the Prime Minister of Ireland. I mean, and the crowd goes wild. He goes to the polls, and not the polls. The polling will put him at, I would bet, 75, 80%. Just the most popular. You got to be kidding me if that guy can't get 70% of the general election poll in Ireland.
He'd probably run out of Guinness if he did.
Right? Yeah, Ireland is out of Guinness. They're opening 2 more factories just to help celebrate the massive wins. Wow. And again, it just goes to show you, like, when people stand up and say enough is enough is enough, and they really need a fighter like him, an actual fighter, to step forward and say enough is enough. We are going to stand up and protect this country. If Ireland isn't for the Irish, then what country has any stake on its native land and its native heritage and its native people? And I go back to Japan all the time because nobody has taken any immigrants, no refugees, no nothing. And they're quite happy not to. And they're thriving. And yet, if anybody were to propose that they need to take on all, it would just be a joke. No one would ever suggest that because they're immune to it all.
Well, it's just like the shamdemic, the ones who thought for themselves and didn't do much of anything, they were the ones that fared the best. But the ones that went along with the globalist hive mind, which is what they're trying to create, we've talked about that 100 million times, they don't want freedom. And part of freedom is free thought. They don't want you to be able to think for yourselves anymore. They want to control everything. I mean, we're really literally talking about micromanaging every aspect of your life. Now, think about that. I mean, who is going to go along with that? And that's why that's why we do have the walkaway movement, which is Democrats coming over to the Republican Party, or at least becoming an independent or libertarian or something else. But eventually more and more are going to leave the Democratic plantation. And that's why we saw in the recent Rasmussen poll that nearly 50% of all black voters are going to be voting for Trump. And so there is a massive paradigm shift happening. And that's why they're acting so desperate. They can't, even with all the shenanigans, and that's what's going to make our victory even that much sweeter.
Yeah. There's an article from Zero Hedge talking about how your standard of living will decrease by 85%. Right? To quote from it, carbon passports, a personal carbon emission limit will become the new normal. Worldwide tourism boom is done. The frequency with which we can fly is once again seemingly unlimited at this point. But in the future, it will be shut down once every decade, maybe. You can go on a flight somewhere. I mean, traveling for business and all that might be allowed if you're in the right business. If you make enough money, you need to go see, I need to go see the man over there who makes all the we sell to the people. No problem. But if you just want to go travel, go see Bali, your whole life goal is to go see Bali, that might be your whole life goal. You might have to give 4 decades of travel to store up enough credits to be able to earn that trip. And then your central bank digital currency will be tied to all your behavior. So if you don't toe the line, if you speak out of line, if you do the wrong, poof, it's gone.
Yeah, and you brought up that phrase that we've heard a lot, normal, right? Klaus Schwab talked about that a lot. I made a post recently on social media. And this is really the new normal for right now. The new normal is total enslavement. But for now, the new normal is more wars, economic despair, more divide and conquer, more doom and gloom, more death and destruction, more fears and terror, more civil unrest, more violence, more hate and insanity, more lies and deceptions, more fake news, more tyranny, more world governance, more food instability, more poverty, more isolation, and the list goes on and on. So for now, that's the new normal, but eventually it's total tyranny.
Absolutely. It's just going to stack up and stack up and stack up. Like all these little things will come together and lead to a life where suddenly one day you just don't recognize it anymore. I mean, a lot of us are there now. A lot of us older people are there now. I say older, 50. America looks nothing like it did when I grew up here. Nothing. It's unrecognizable from where it was when I was a kid. In so many ways.
Yeah.
It really is. And so, if you were born, a lot of the kids we were talking about the Osama letter, I mean, they didn't even live through 9/11. That was 2001. If you're 21, 22 years old, you were born after all that. All you saw and all you lived through was the after world from that. The taking your shoes off to go on an airplane.
Right.
What a ridiculous thing to have to take your shoes off to go on an airplane. I mean, seriously, there used to be so much. You used to be able to walk right up to your gate and see your loved one off, or if they were flying into town, you'd go right to the gate and, they'd walk off the airplane, you'd give them a big hug, and you'd walk through the terminal with them. There wasn't security. Yeah. That all came after 9/11.
And squeeze your junk. Don't forget that. They like to squeeze your junk. Now, they're supposed to, the TSA agents are supposed to, when they touch your junk, turn their hand backside. But they don't always do that from what I've heard. But still, that's still groping, and that's still sexual assault. For them to touch your genitalia, that is assault.
Yeah, from what you heard, like it happened to your friend or something? It sounds like you're
you
trying
just hear people talk, well, there was that one lady, she was like the former Miss America, and she basically said they grabbed her crotch, more or less. So, that after 9/11, there was a lot of that going on where the TSA was just basically, groping people. Like we've talked about before, whenever you have this kind of weird power that's given to people, it attracts the wrong kind of people, like pedophiles, for example.
Absolutely. Yotivation, what say you? Has the world changed since you grew up?
Absolutely. I was just going to give an example, and I hate to say it out loud, but I will. I have a friend, and she sent her young son, I would say he was probably 14, 15 years old, on a plane flight by himself, and he had to go through TSA, and he ended up getting strip searched before he could get on that plane. So that stuff does
happen. Strip search a 14-year-old kid.
A boy, with no adult with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Isn't it? If that was my kid, me and I would be all over the place. But she's a little more liberal than I am, and she laughed it off. But I would have been so pissed. I would have been all over the place.
I remember flying a number of times when I was young, going to go see a relative in another state or whatever. They'd put me on the flight, get there, and first of all, you could take on there anything you wanted. Like liquid, you could bring, literally, if I was 14 back then, I could probably bring a fifth of vodka in my carry-on and nobody would have questioned it.
With a no.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have started, pounding it on the flight and got wasted, of course somebody would have said something. But if I just kept it in my bag and whatever, I would have gone straight through and got out the other side and he just said, "Thanks for bringing that. It's the good stuff from up north."
Right.
Well, remember during the Bush administration, they were doing random people. They would pull people randomly to have their junk touched and stuff, and run them through those dangerous X-ray machines, which do cause cancer. I think they call them the backscatter X-ray machines, and they are definitely cancer-causing machines. And flying alone, if you do a lot of flying, can cause cancer as well.
And when you talk about the randomness of it, they would pull grandma out of the line. And a veteran. In a wheelchair.
They just got that
Yeah,
veteran guy with no legs, and they were doing that to him just like this last week. And he was like lifting up his shorts, showing his artificial limb, which was just like a mechanical steel thing. And he's like, look, it's just my limb. And they were all over him, like just accosting him.
Yeah, I mean, after 9/11, it was just insane how they went about that stuff. They said, we can't do any sort of profiling, right? Racial profiling was what they called it. Just none whatsoever. We have to be extremely neutral as we possibly can with all the security. Which really, come on, made no sense. It wasn't, the flights were safe forever for 50 years, of aviation before that. I don't know about 50, but 40 at least.
Yeah, and then they would let groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, which is Egypt considers a terrorist organization, the Muslim Brotherhood. And so, which is a Muslim nation, Egypt is, and they considered the Muslim Brotherhood. In fact, they overthrew the Muslim Brotherhood when there was that revolution in Egypt. And they said, hey, the Muslim Brotherhood is too radical. But then Obama allowed them to come in unchecked at the airports. I mean, but yet they want to harass a patriot, somebody who just loves their country, or a former veteran, or a child. But the Muslim Brotherhood, who Egypt has deemed a terrorist organization, free pass. Just come on through, no checks. I mean, the insanity of the world is off the chart. And it's all part of this politically correct thing is making it even worse.
Yep. I don't know. Anyway, let's dive back into some more. In Michigan, the Democratic Party-controlled Michigan legislature voted to move the primary date up to February 2024. This in turn violates the Republican National Committee's rule that only South Carolina, Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada can hold their primaries before March 1st. If this rule is violated, the RNC may penalize the state by refusing to credential almost all of its delegates to the Republican National Convention. So, I'm reading from Just the News, by the way. So the Democratic Party controls the Michigan legislature, and they voted to move the primary to February 27th, which means that the RNC won't recognize the Republican primaries in Michigan. Whitmer, right? I always say she's a candidate for presidency. She's a potential candidate and everyone says, no. But this is how ruthless she is. This is ruthless stuff right here. To move the RNC won't even recognize them. So just null and void the other side's, primaries in your state. Knowingly. It's a disgrace. And they're probably doing it in some way to help Biden because Biden needs to front load all the primaries to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's desperation. They have to find every single possible way that they could stack the deck because it's a matter of life and death for some of these people. And they can't back down.
And again, this is legal. We talked about things that seem illegal and should be illegal and immoral for sure. But no, they can do this. They've got the legal power to change the date when they do the primary. And if they do it knowing that the other party will ignore the results of that because it was held too soon, more power to them, right?
Even if it is illegal, if there's no one there to challenge them on it, then they can do it pretty much. I mean, a lot of these lawless areas, nobody's there to challenge some of this unconstitutional illegality that goes on. And that's very problematic. But at least now we actually have people, at least on the right, on the conservative side, that are fighting back. And we are suing and we are taking it to court. Trump is suing. Ken Paxton is suing. I mean, everybody these days is fighting back. So, yeah, it's going to be a clash of the Titans real soon, man.
Yeah. Yotivation, you filed, 3 lawsuits yourself?
Yeah, right? I'm not that big of a lawsuit filer.
No?
No.
But when it comes to your country and your elections, God given right to be an American, you're not going to file a lawsuit?
No, I don't file lawsuits, but I do participate, and I think that's what's really important. If people stand up and let their voice be heard and they vote, that's going to make all the difference. Again, I'll just say that these people who are winning, in Argentina and in the Netherlands, Brazil, this wouldn't be happening if people didn't show up to vote. So your vote does matter, and you can overturn the deep state or globalist plans, but you got to show up. If you don't, then you're already surrendering. And so I hope that people will get out there en masse and let's stick it to them.
There you go.
That's right. Absolutely. And it does matter. I mean, I'm just glad we have this platform to speak and get our word out, And anyway, we only got a few minutes left. Did you guys see Dolly Parton during the Dallas Cowboys game?
Oh, yeah.
No, but I heard about it.
Oh, what a class act. Just what a lovely lady. Look at Cher and Madonna and some of these people in their 70s, these ladies in their 70s who try to be, I don't know, sex symbols or whatever the hell they're trying to do. Dolly Parton is just a class act. Just what a wonderful performance she did, and God bless her,
Yeah, I've always kind of liked her. I mean, I think she's got a pretty big heart, and she's pretty genuine, and she's kind of kept out of the politics, which I think is, pretty wise for somebody that's in the entertainment business. I'm not saying that you can't be in the entertainment business and have an opinion, but pretty much anybody that is in the entertainment business that does have an opinion pretty much just walks the political line of the establishment, or else they get punished. Mm-hmm. You become like a James Wood or a Woods or a I don't know. There's a lot of them out there. A Dean Cain, where you just totally get ostracized, and you don't even work anymore.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the goal. Like, they want you to either fall in line or you don't get hired. And why not, right? But it's funny. I mean, all the lines on the left are breaking right now. They're all falling apart.
Yeah. And like you said so many times before about Disney, now Marvel's is tanking, and the new movie Aquaman 2 is supposed to tank as well. They say it may not even make $100 million as well, and it cost at least $300 million to make, but they're saying with marketing and other expenses, it's way more than that, probably close to $500 million. $500 million? Yeah. So it's not even.
There was another one called
million.
Wish. Yeah, there was one, I think it was called Wish, that came out this last weekend that was supposed to, be a #1 hit and yada, yada, and it fell to third place. And Disney is looking like they're pretty much done. Yotivation, we got about 30 seconds left. Thanks for joining us.
My adapter's been funny. It just turned off completely.
We got 30 seconds left. Say goodbye to our audience.
Goodbye, audience. Thank you for joining us.
Well, I mean, take us out. Don't just say goodbye.
Take us out with the bullhorn. Do it now.
We're so glad you all joined us. Thank you to our loyal listeners. Please come back and again on Wednesday night and then again on Sunday night. We can't wait to share all the silliness and the craziness of all that we're living through together with you.
Exactly. On point, on time. We're going to break, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on Wednesday night.
I don't know if everything's bogging down right now. God damn it.
And we'll assume we're still live.
Yes, we are still live. Somehow, some way.
I didn't get a chance to break out the bullhorn, but now I can. I'm telling you, come see us on Wednesday night, Sunday night, and every night that you can.
X.com. Folks, go to X.com. XX.com and XXX.com are both porn sites. Don't go there. Go to X.com for your news.
Stop misleading the people.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
Anyway, see, I have all this stuff to say, so now I should probably say it, right?
Damn it.
But I mean,
can't
if
remember
Twitter's
any of
going to
it,
be
though.
called X.com, then what? We know X, double X, triple X, that's all porn, right? So is X.com just going to be strict news and like, that's the Twitter, but double X and triple X.com and 4X.com, 6X.com, 8X, it just gets worse and worse and worse the more X's you add to it. Yikes.
Well, being a short, fat man, I do wear 3XL, but that's a different story altogether.
I thought you were a tall, skinny guy.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I am now. I identify as a tall, skinny guy.
Okay.
Hi. Okay, hey, everybody, welcome. Hey, welcome to the Willie's Worm Farm Roundtable Radio Show. Hey, we here live, man. Hey, I got special guests on my show.
Bullhorn Barry's your
here.
special guest today.
Yeah, I got Bullhorn Barry, and I got Yotivation Nation, and I got Censorship Sucks, man. Hey, this is live on the Willie's Worm
We got the
Farm
Hansel
Round-
tonight, too. The Hansel is here. Hello, Willie.
Yeah,
This is Hansel.
Yeah, hey, you a poser, man.
Hey guys,
man.
let me do it.
I
Let me
know
do
it.
something real quick here. I'm gonna restart Skype real quick, and then we'll come right back, finish out with our after show, and then we will be good to go. Okay? So just give me a minute.
Okay.
I'll bring us
Okay,
right
we're
back.
off the air, though, right?
Yeah, we're off the air, but we're still being broadcast to the platforms. Just hold on, folks. We'll be right back with some more Censorship Sucks after show stuff. Let's see here. And that's what's going on, huh? Okay. And not yet, huh? Let's try this again. Let's see if Skype brings us back. We'll be right back with some more Censorship Sucks antics and craziness as soon as I get us reconnected to Skype again. Hope everybody's doing well out there tonight. Icehole, appreciate you guys coming in here over in the Kick Chat and over on Rumble. Thank you for your patronage over there as well. And all the other platforms like Facebook, Odyssey, Twitch. Hey, Keeman, still over there? I'm pretty sure that you're probably getting tired over there. So, trying to get us rolling on, again. We'll see if I can get Skype to come back up. If not, there's going to be a problem. So, hope everybody had fun with the show tonight. Appreciate all of you. Tried to give out as many shout outs as I can for all the people that have shown up and said something in there. My Nickel, appreciate you and your hubby, Adam Bombs. Killing it over on, that's right, Call of Duty. Or whatever else you guys have planned tonight before. Let's see. Somebody better give me a... Don't know what's going on. Having a hard time with the broadcasters tonight. Not OBS for the first time. Though Skype may get me in here connecting eventually. We'll find out. Normally I get this come up pretty quick. But I don't know really what is going on. Trying to find a way to get us connected. Oh, it just doesn't want to connect, does it? Try it again. Trying to join the call. See if it's going to allow me to. Please stand by. Sleepy but well, and you? I'm doing pretty good. Had all my younger kids this week. But I won't have them for Christmas, unfortunately. But I will get them again for New Year's week. So that'll be good. So I hope you had a really good time over the week there. Not letting me do that, is it? You crazy.
When you look
There's
back,
no-
There we go.
there's no
We're
question.
back.
Go
Hello. All right.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had some connection issues with Skype there. So, yeah,
Okay.
we're good to go now.
Are we back out now? Because we're spitting fire over here. We're
Yeah, we
spitting
are,
fire.
man. It was all missed.
Let me bring everybody up to speed. Taylor Swift is a satanic sellout, and go ahead, Yodavation. I think you were on a roll there.
I was just saying, Barry had mentioned how some people have attended those concerts, Taylor Swift concerts, and said they don't even remember the concert at all. And I was wondering or thinking that perhaps they put a spell over our entire nation, a stupid spell, a forgetful spell. I don't know, but we got here somehow. And if you go back, and you look at things that have happened, we forget about them. And so we don't bring anybody to justice because they say that we have the attention span of 7 seconds, like a goldfish. And I feel like that's their weapon, dumbing us down. There's, people have Alzheimer's and dementia like crazy today. Maybe it's not a spell. Maybe it's aluminum. but for some reason, it feels like we're all stupid.
It's pronounced aluminium.
Aluminium.
Aluminium, huh?
It's like it's like aloe vera, but with some aluminum in it.
I thought that was kind of a funny way too, because when Americans say it, we say aluminum. You know, we pronounce the U's the same way in the beginning and the end. But apparently, I don't know if it's the British way or whatever. When they say aluminium, why don't they pronounce the U the same way in the front and the back like we do?
Well, they're not good at English. They invented it, but they kind of dropped it along the way, you know, and
they invented it.
gave it to us to master.
Yeah, that's right. We have to perfect it.
Yeah.
So they're already selling tickets for Taylor Swift October 18th, 2024 at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Ticket prices are $898.
Stupid.
There's another October 19th.
Exactly.
They're $1,140.
And
this is all
again, when we were gone, like I was talking about how you picture an audience full of like screaming teenage girls, you know, and at $1,000 a head, what parent is going to send their daughter to that concert at $1,000 a head? None.
And what adults would want to be there? I just don't get it.
Yeah. Like if you got, well, you're going to bring your wife to a concert, like $2,000 to go see. Are you kidding me?
I tell you, I would never spend money that way, not on Taylor Swift.
You got a tractor to haul out to Arizona.
That's right.
You can dig up the
Yeah,
desert.
I sent you a screenshot of just some of the ticket prices.
Spend my money on
That's crazy.
tangibles.
This is crazy.
I wouldn't give you $8.78 to go see Taylor Swift because she's not too swift in my book. I mean, I don't really like her music or her performances either.
I wouldn't know.
You know, just out of curiosity, I was looking at the prices for a football game, you know, on Thanksgiving Day, and they were like $800 for anywhere between the two end zones on either side. $800. If you want to be in the end zones, you could get it down to like $200 if you're in the nosebleeds. But I mean, to go to a football game, you want to take your wife and your 3 kids to a football game, sit in the nosebleed end zone section. That's $1,000.
Okay.
And that's without
do that?
beer. Yeah.
Who can do that? Who can do that? Your kids all have to have Cokes and hot dogs and nachos and all that stuff. You and your wife are gonna have a couple beers, and you're gonna add another 150 on top of that. Like maybe a couple jerseys for the kids. What jerseys are $70 each probably at that point.
Hey, Mark, are you interested in producing another show?
A 1 hour show I'm trying to do.
Now, Bob Dub has canceled her. She had a show. What was it called? The Week That Was or something. That was the week. Anyway, she canceled her show. She might be looking for somebody else to produce another show for her.
Okay. Yeah, I have someone I have lined up right now, but as a special, I don't know if it's going to work out or not. But
let me tell Bob Dub to hit you up.
Yeah, tell her to drop me a line. If not, CS says he's going to do a 3-hour show on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
But I also am not against Bob Dub, and it might be a good way to transition
why
it to just bring her in my 3rd hour for a while.
Yeah, why don't you give her the 3rd hour?
I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, if you did, that way it would take it off you and Barry, and then.
Well, that way it would be a good way to transition it. You know, and we can test her out. Is she going to be showing up on time every time, and
Yeah, it would still be.
And I'm sure she would.
The Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show should just have that last hour under you. That's how I would do that. That's how I would do that. And she would have one break, and then
she does well with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's probably the best way that I could take and do for her.
I wouldn't be against that at all.
Okay.
Bob Dub is amazing. I love Bob Dub.
Yep.
She's very intelligent, very insightful.
Yeah. And what a history, too. Wow.
Yeah, she's cultured.
I mean, she grew up in, what, Zimbabwe?
Yeah, she grew up in
So they were-
Zimbabwe, and then now she's in New Zealand. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of
Mhm.
shit. I guess they were killing white people in Zimbabwe or something, so she left there and went to New Zealand. She's got quite
Yeah,
a story.
her country took away her citizenship. Right? Like, they just said, you're no longer welcome here. Because you're white.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know the details on it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But there's Bob Dub's connection right there on Skype. So she's already on Skype. That's where I talked to her
Yeah.
at.
There's a good chance she's already listening. She's listening to us right now, actually. I mean,
Okay.
to be fair. She's a regular in our audience, for sure.
Yeah, on Wednesdays for sure.
She's aggravating, but I love her. I love Bob Dub.
She's aggravating. How is she? Everybody's aggravating to you, man. Everybody. I think you even said that about censorship me one time or two, maybe more. We love you, Willie.
Well, love is a big word, Mark, and
Yeah, love is a
when you throw
big
we and
word.
love around, you just gotta be careful and be a little, add some asterisks, like
Yeah, something like no
Caveat.
bromo. Okay, no.
yeah,
You ought to hear this.
hashtag no homo is a
No.
really good start.
Yeah, hashtag no.
You ought to hear
Yeah,
this,
start with that one.
Yeah.
See here, copy and link. Here we go. Kate the Great and Sick of the Lies are working on my song. And that's what they've come up with so far. But they're still not done with it.
What?
There's another version to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
It's so
last
quiet. I don't know if I like this quiet silence
It's quiet
for the after
silence.
show. What's wrong with people, man? Are you guys not alive tonight?
Yeah,
Come
they're,
on, man.
they're still
Censorship,
tired.
you were starting to get a little bit sleepy there at the end, I noticed, too. At the end of the second hour.
Sleepy.
Yeah, you sounded just a little bit sleepy. Yeah.
No, you were.
Uh-huh.
I am a little sleepy, but I didn't sound it, though.
Yeah.
So.
That's
No, you
right. Uh-huh.
The great Trump won.
Just
He
prove me
said-
wrong. I want you to prove me wrong right now.
No, you prove me
won.
wrong. You can't handle being proved wrong.
Oh my God.
Since birth, we have all been led to believe certain things as truth. When we were children, we were taught that Santa Claus was real, along with the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny. Sometime along the way, we learned that it was a perceived truth, and we were lied to. As we grew older, we learned certain beliefs based on what others believed or what we were told. So it must be true. We developed a belief system based on lies, yet we still believe and do not sway from it because those beliefs are held by many. Even when these truths are proven to be lies, we do not deviate from our belief system because we then admit that all along we were wrong. We're all taught to take sides, even when both sides are wrong. In the end, we can only trust in God. This is me, Steps Off Soapbox.
You know what gets me is the establishment will tell you a myriad of different contradictory things all the time. And yet they expect to continue to believe everything they tell us. The very fact, and again, I'm not trying to get into the flat earth thing, but they have told us that the world is like this perfect globe, right? Like you see a globe that you have, it's perfectly round, it's globe. But then you have people like Neil deGrasse Tyson who says, oh, the world isn't a perfect globe, it's more pear-shaped and flat on one end.
No.
So which one is it? Is it
It's
so we've been
oblong,
told?
yeah.
So we've been told
It's
all
like
this whole time that it's
everybody-
perfectly round, but now all of a sudden it's a pear shape?
No.
I've never
It's like an
I've
egg.
never been told the Earth is round.
No, he's
It's-
saying
it's-
that it
yeah,
bulges.
well, it's
at
not like
the-
an egg. It
it
bulges at
bulges
the equator.
at-
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's more
But when
like
you
an
get a
egg because
globe,
it wobbles
is a
like an
perfect
egg
globe.
when you spin it.
Yeah, but
You ever see,
it
you ever
bulges
spin an
at
egg?
the
Come on.
equator, but not so much that like you would put that into a globe and not make it round.
Yeah,
it's
well,
it's subtle.
See, I believe
You're talking
that the
about
Earth
20,
is
30
bigger.
feet.
It's
you know.
bigger than what
Yeah.
they're telling us.
All I know is what
It's
a pear
bigger,
looks like. A pear
Bigger
does not
than
look
me,
like
and you are not here.
does not look like
Things
what
that
we've
we
been
will
told.
go through. Changes in my life.
Or they say like the NASA the astronauts, like the first people that went to the moon, all three of them that were being interviewed, they're like, oh yeah, we didn't see a single star the entire trip, but
Right.
from the point of Earth all the way to the point of the moon, and even when we got to the moon, we could see no stars. We never saw any stars, and yet you see these people that are out in space. On these what are the things they call them? I forget what they call them. But they go, oh yeah, there's stars all around us. They're everywhere. We can see them. They're so bright. So which one is it? Are there no stars that you can see, or are there a bunch? Don't
Yeah.
tell us a million different stories. And again,
No,
I'm
dude,
not.
there's no stars. There's no stars, for sure.
But yeah,
It's
until
not about.
someone
It's
hits
not
you
the
on
point I'm making. It's
toe
not
and you
about what is right or what is wrong. It is the fact that they tell you a myriad of different truths, and then they expect you to believe whatever it is they tell you. Well, of course you should question if they're totally contradicting themselves constantly and consistently, and you're not asking questions. That's why I have no problem with the flat earth people, because they're doing what they should be doing, asking questions.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
But that
That's
if
right,
you
Willie.
start asking questions about certain topics, then automatically you're ostracized. And people
That's
think
right.
you're a nut job and think you're crazy.
That's
and
right.
then you're totally dismissed.
Wasn't it Kevin Curry, the basketball player, that he said that the earth was flat, and they all got mad at him in the press? So obviously that's something that really ticks off the fake news. And then they came out and said exactly why they believe that. You know what it was? They said, oh, flat earth isn't such a bad conspiracy theory, but those that believe in flat earth also generally tend to believe that 9/11 was an inside job, and then they start naming all these other conspiracies and conspiracy theories that are dangerous. So flat earth leads to more dangerous conspiracy theories.
It's
So
a gateway conspiracy
it's
theory.
a gateway.
Apparently so.
It's
So
the milk
I
of,
like
conspiracy
making the
theories.
corrupt establishment mad. So if the flat earth makes them mad, I hope the flat earth people keep, talking whatever it is that they're talking, because if it just same thing with Q. Q really upsets. I'm not even a Q person, but the Q people really upset the far left. So I say keep talking your Q talk, because it really drives them nuts. It's causing them to moo like a cow and to meow like a cat.
There must be a reason for that.
I'm sure there
I think
is.
it's good. Everybody should ask questions. I have a friend who tries to tell me this flat earth stuff, and I tell her, I don't dismiss it. I just haven't had time to investigate it for myself, because I do believe that we've been told a myriad of lies, and we can make a belief system based on a lie. It doesn't even have to be true. We just have to believe it to be true. And once society kind of gathers around an idea and accepts it, then people kind of believe that as like a common knowledge kind of thing, where I do like to ask questions and find answers to know for myself. I just don't have time to investigate flat earth right now because we've got so many other things going on with the deep state, and that's where I invest all of my researching and my questioning and my seeking out answers. Although I haven't done that very much lately either because I just get so frustrated.
All right, tonight's word of the night is myriad. Anytime someone says myriad of problems, we have to drink.
Oh. Hey, myriad.
Better
I'm
myriad
glad
than
I only
plethora.
have coffee.
I do need a refill.
Someone
Hey,
needs
I
to
don't
stay
know.
sober.
Somebody should play Willie's song that he just put out there. I started to listen to it. It's really good.
Play it. Can you share it? We just gotta go and.
That's not a finished product. They're doing another version with the piano, but they are really awesome.
I want a stripped down acoustic version.
This is.
Can we play that for everyone? Like, can somebody share the screen and just hit play on that?
Yeah, hold on. Let me cut
I don't
off
see it.
Facebook.
Or in the
I
very
don't
least,
see it
give us
in my-
acapella version.
Yeah, hold
man.
on. Let
You
me
can
cut
give us
off
an acapella
Facebook if you're
version.
going to play that. Just in case.
Let's see.
Someone's got to fill the shoes of David Hogg and his